What's up everybody, it's Critical. I'm playing Beast Boxing Turbo for the PC. Let's do this shit. I'm gonna pick new game, since I've never played this before. Tell that to your chemistry professor. Tutorial. Absolutely preposterous. Do you think me the fuck, sensei? I don't need a tutorial and you know it. You can take this tutorial and asshole it to block it. What the fuck? Cheap shot, he just socked me in the nose when I'm reading the directions. And his damn undercooked hamburger hands are half the size of his entire body. Before there was shit, there was this guy. He is the epitome of nose shoved into beehive. Prepare to fight. I must have finished the tutorial. I'm fighting Pigless, my mentor. Student versus teacher, human versus pig. Who will win in this showdown? Ancient Egyptian pharaohs used to place bets on matches just like these. The only difference? Pigless wasn't in that shit. What the fuck is this abomination? This costume sure works and nobody suspects that I'm a human. That's supposed to be a disguise? You're not fooling anybody with that. It looks like somebody's anus just sneezed and you wrapped yourself in its corporeal form. Good luck getting past security with that, 007. This dude's torso looks like a face with a handlebar mustache. Round one. I think you mean round. You're done. Lightning fast jabs right off the bat. Shit, the hands are on fire. Somebody grab some water right now. Never mind. Go ahead and take your seat, Poseidon. The fire was extinguished by repeatedly clobbering Porky Pig's cranium. Roy Jones Jr. is scratching his head at that remarkable speed. That was incredible. Let's get ready to rumble! Your telephone is ringing. It's my fist calling to punch you some more. You can't handle this. No, that was a good strike. But I've got the combos, the uppercuts, the jabs, the haymakers. Alright, I need to reload. Ran out of stamina. There we go. Oh, you can't handle it. When I'm finished punching you in the chin, you won't be able to tell if your titties are spitting liquid or if you're just washing your hands in a sink. I'm just bopping them with these partially filled water balloons. Sneak attack. You didn't even block. It's over. KO. Heebity-deebity, that's all, folks. There it is. There it is. If somebody asked me, where's the KO, I'd say it's right there. You can't handle it. Oh, shit. Alright. Now he's putting those dinosaur nipples he's got on his hands to good use. Your lead is temporary. Yes, fucking ferocious left jabs. You will not be able to sustain much more punishment from these punches. Shit. Almost out of power for the punches. Just walk into the punches, please. Fuck, there is no power left to these punches. It doesn't matter, they can still bring the noise. Fuck it, I'll just let the power recharge. Pigless, it seems you've won the lottery of powerful punches. I've got to wait for the power. And then I punch him! Damn it! This is a much closer match. Shit. Hey, Pigless. I saw a commercial on TV last week that you might be interested in. According to that, you can now buy jabs to the chin for $9.99. Victory sold separately, bitch. Are you ready for more punches? You're not ready for more punches. Oh, there we go. KO. 2 rounds. Absolutely destroyed Pigless. Looks like he went to the how many punches can you endure buffet. Just absolutely dominated that match. Coins earned 147. Can buy a fucking blimp with that much money. Time for the next fight. What the fuck is this creature? Looks like a fucking mutant metapod with boxing gloves. Oh, what the fuck? That's the end of the demo? I guess so, the game just closed. Alright, I'm done playing this. Well, that's the end of this video. Remember to rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe if you want to see videos similar to this one. See ya.
We're talking about something very serious today. Throughout the video, you're going to see my shirt changes. It's not some kind of like crazy, wacky, magic trick from America's Got Talent or anything. I actually filmed this video earlier this morning when the story first broke. It's the killing of Alex Preddy in Minnesota at the hands of border agents. And I made the video, But I was pretty heated and I wanted to kind of simmer down and take a break, so I went out before posting it. I just got home, and now even more angles and videos have been released that show beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is a 100% unjustified killing of an American citizen here. And it seems like the execution stems from them finding out that he had a gun on his person. His Second Amendment rights. In all of the videos that exist, there is not a single moment where he is reaching for the gun, brandishing it, threatening with it, or anything at all, and we have video that shows the entire interaction from start to finish. His name was Alex Preddy, a 37-year-old nurse who worked in the ICU at Minneapolis VA healthcare system, and according to the police chief, he is a U.S. citizen with no prior interactions with law enforcement outside of a couple of traffic tickets, and believed to be a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry. So for him to lose his life being shot multiple times by these agents, all because of him exercising his Second Amendment rights, which again, he wasn't trying to use as an intimidation tactic on the officers or anything like that. When they were beating him on the ground, pistol whipping him on the ground, they happened to see that he had a gun, apparently. He wasn't throwing it at them as like a threat or something, or brandishing it or anything. He simply had it on him, which he was well within his right to do, and he got murdered for it. This is completely unacceptable, and the fucking drones that are somehow like parading around like this is some kind of victory or something is sickening. It should be viewed as treasonous by any real Americans when you see this footage. And they had the gall to say that Alex Preddy was like the instigator, labeling him a domestic terrorist I saw from a couple of places, claiming that he approached these agents with a 9mm. He approached them with a gun looking to start shit. But that is not true. In all of the videos you see, he has a phone in his hands. Not a gun in his hands, he has a phone in his hands. No sane person would ever mistake a phone for a gun. This is blatantly obvious what they're trying to do. And it's something they've been doing a lot recently. Trying to tell you that what you're seeing isn't real. Trust their words, not your eyes. That is completely fucking outrageous, and people are willingly doing it. That's the craziest part. There are people that are like, oh, I saw he had his phone, but if they say it was a gun, well, that must have been a gun. I cannot believe we've reached this level of brainwashing. There are so many angles of this, and in every single one of them, you can see he has his phone in his hand, and at no point during this interaction did he ever, pull a gun on them or anything. And in fact, in one of the angles, you can even clearly see that the agents actually took the gun from him prior to him being shot. You can actually see what looks to be one of the agents disarming him, taking the gun out of its holster and running away with the gun prior to him being shot. And if that wasn't definitive, there is something even more clear that I think is completely irrefutable for anyone that's actually looking. An agent takes Alex's gun out of its holster in front of the agent that pulls out his gun and shoots him. So he can see the gun has been taken out of the holster. And it is clear Alex Preddy has both hands on the ground. He does not have a gun in them. And an agent reaches in and takes it out of the holster right before another agent pulls out his firearm and shoots him in the back.
Honestly.
Just in case you somehow missed it, look, the agent in gray has his hand on Alex's weapon, which is still holstered. It was never unholstered. This agent takes it out of its holster before he runs away with it, and the officer right next to him is the one that pulls out his gun and shoots him. And now I want to show you the clearest video that shows everything that happened here and how it doesn't go how the authorities are saying that it did. That was Alex Preddy you saw walk by the camera right there. He has his phone in his hand, and then with his other hand, his open hand, no gun in it, is waving cars through. There is clearly no brandishing of a firearm here. He is not approaching agents with a gun or anything like that, and you will never see anything even remotely close to that happen.
Go. What the fuck is wrong with you?
In this section, you can again see Alex Preddy has his phone in his hand, and now he's trying to get some of the civilians away from these fucking worms that are now starting to push them. And then one of them got pepper sprayed, and then he got pepper sprayed as well. And when he gets pepper sprayed, you can see his hand shoots in the air like a student about to try and ask the teacher a question. It is a wide open palm. There's no weapon in that hand, and in his other hand is still the phone. There is no gun anywhere here. And now this is when he starts getting beaten by the multiple officers there.
The fuck, people? The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly.
I'm gonna stop the video right here because this is when Alex Preddy gets shot to death. This fucking subhuman coward, you can see, pulls out his firearm and shoots him in the back, and then shoots him multiple times after as Alex Preddy lies on the ground. You can hear one of the agents says gun, and that's when this brain-dead troglodyte pulls out his firearm and starts shooting into Alex while he was still surrounded by his boys, mind you. This is like the antithesis to all training that agents go through, by the way, to shoot into a suspect while still being surrounded by authorities. You're going to get your own people shot too, by the way, you fucking moron, you unbelievable homunculus. So he immediately starts dumping into Alex because someone said gun. But the gun, from the other angles we can see, had already been taken away from Alex, out of his holster. You can see one of the other agents running away with it. But again, he was never brandishing this firearm. And as an American citizen with Second Amendment rights, and a lawful gun owner by all available information, he was allowed to have that gun on his person. It is not grounds to execute a man because you fucking freaked out and panicked because the guy you were beating and pistol whipping with fucking 5 of your friends happened to be armed. He wasn't using it to try and like shoot anyone here or threaten them. They saw the gun and then this guy just freaked out and murdered him. Shot him multiple times. This is indefensible. Completely indefensible. And the fact that they even took him to the ground in the first place and started beating him, with one guy pistol whipping him, by the way. In other angles, you can see a guy just like pistol whipping him like he's trying to hammer a nail in with his gun. Like, it should have never even been acceptable for that to happen. All Alex Preddy was doing was filming, and then when some civilians started getting pushed, he tried to help. And when one got pepper sprayed, he tried to help. From all available angles and evidence and videos here, it seems to be that's all he was doing. He even made an effort to try and show that he's not like a threat or something. Like he threw his arm in the air, wide open, nothing in his hand or anything. He wasn't fighting back against the officers. He got taken to the ground and then immediately started getting beaten. Like, all because he was fucking filming and trying to help other people around there, it seems. This is so fucking sickening. And the freaks that are cheering this on and parading around like this is something to be celebrated are just scum. You're not even American. You're a fucking drone if you actually think this is a good thing. All you care about is just like sucking wiener from the authorities now all of a sudden. You care more about just being on a team than you do thinking for yourself. It's fucking tragic. It is embarrassing. This is crazy now that I'm seeing people justify this guy's murder because he had a weapon. Wake the fuck up. This is America. You can carry weapons. I sometimes carry a gun in public. I have friends who every day carry. It is your right as an American to carry a firearm if you so choose. That is not grounds for a murder. And based on all of the video footage, all of the available evidence, this guy was not brandishing it or anything like that. Thus, he wasn't threatening anyone or about to shoot someone with it, so they had to kill him to stop him. That doesn't seem to be the case. They're now just using the fact that he had a gun as a justification to kill him. That should be extremely alarming to anyone who cares about 2A. Like, again, him having it should not be an issue. And any real, actual American, like a real patriot, should be arguing for his right to carry, because it is something that we have the right to do, and that should not be a justification for this man being killed by these agents. This point that they're trying to beat into the empty minds of a lot of people that are trying so hard to justify it is that the only people being arrested and targeted by ICE are rapists and pedophile illegal aliens, which is just not the case. There definitely have been rapists and pedophiles that have been snatched up in all of this, and those rapists and pedophiles that have been caught and taken away, that's good. They shouldn't be out there breathing the free air. Great. But that's not all that's happening here. You could also right now march into the White House and arrest everyone in the White House, and you would get a ton of rapists and pedophiles. Why isn't that happening? If the goal is getting rapists and pedophiles off of American soil, thrown in the slammer, taking them away from society, why is it only just walking through the fucking streets of Minnesota trying to do it? You would get significantly more rapists and pedophiles if you took ICE and brought them to the White House. An administration is actively covering up a massive child sex trafficking operation and letting tons of evil people get away with this, tons of clients. So if the goal is to get this kind of evil out of this country, why would you not start with what is provably a spot that has so many of them? Also, that belief of like a secret pedophile ring was a very popular one among Trump voters for the longest time. And now that it has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to be real, legitimate reality, they are now just ignoring it. They have been proven correct that there was a huge pedophile ring of these powerful politicians, but because some of their favorite politicians are potentially wrapped up in it, they just want to drop it and forget about it. Absolutely unhinged, by the way. It's crazy. So many people for the longest time were adamant against like government surveillance and Big Brother watching them being a huge concern. Now, plenty of people are welcoming it with open arms and a huge smile on their face. For the longest time, people would be preaching about the importance of the Second Amendment and gun rights. And now, even with this, they're saying, well, he had a gun, which means that's an executable offense. So it seems like they now no longer believe in Americans' right to own guns or carry guns, which was a core component of like the right for a long time, where there was like this big fear about they're coming for our guns. And now the same people that were arguing like to protect that are now arguing against it, saying, well, this guy deserved to die because he had a gun with him. It's a fundamental right of Americans to have guns, gun ownership. You can carry them in public too. Like that, you shouldn't be killed for that. And in the footage here, it doesn't seem like he was brandishing it or anything. And also, the same people that only like a year and a half ago were constantly telling you to question the government, that you can't trust anything that comes out of the government, the authorities always lying to you, are now just willingly, blindly, unquestioningly following anything authorities tell them to believe in, and shut out any and all thought and just have the hive mind think for them. It is crazy because it seems like the only actual belief of some of these fucking brainwashed drones is relentless cock gobbling. All they want to do is swallow boots and penis from the government. So if the administration or the news, which they used to hate the news, but now that the news just parrots points from big government that they like to clap their hands at like seals, they now just trust all of it all of a sudden, even though there's been no big change with these mainstream media outlets, by the way, that they used to not trust only a year and a half ago. But now, anytime they hear something from the news or anything that comes from the government, they will just immediately accept without a second thought and then attack anyone else that is saying differently, or even just probing them to maybe think a little bit more about the narratives. Keep in mind, the government themselves are currently not even complying with their own laws that Trump has signed, like the Epstein Transparency Act, where the DOJ is still putting up a fight and are over a month late to compliance with releasing the Epstein files. They are still fighting tooth and nail to not release them, and even recently, only a week ago, outright said maybe there's no court that can force them to order this. They didn't even say maybe. I gave them a very charitable thing right there. They actually said courts can't force them to do this, and that if they don't comply, there's nothing anyone can do. They can't be sued. If the DOJ doesn't comply, go fuck yourself, pussy. That's basically their sentiment. They are not complying with their own fucking laws, and yet people are still willing to overlook that in order to just keep, like, playing for the same team. It's like it's a competition to see who can think the least and who can regurgitate enough from the hive mind to be, like, the biggest super fan of their side. It's fucking despicable. It's actually crazy. This is real sheep behavior. I know a lot of these people like to say sheep, sheep, sheep for the longest time, but now they are actually the epitome of that. Here's just a little thought experiment if you can break through the programming for a second. Imagine what's happening in Minnesota was happening under Obama or Biden, where there were masked agents that were constantly surveilling you, and even at times asking for your papers, your documents to prove you're an American citizen, constantly needing to provide your private information to these masked agents. And these agents also had killed 2 American citizens. What do you think your response would be? Would you be like, oh yes, please, everyone needs to comply with this. This is good. This is what I want. This is what I look for in Obama or Biden. This is what I'm happy about. Would you be as excited then as you are now in that scenario? My guess would be probably not, because you would rightfully view this as an infringement on your rights as an American. Your Second Amendment right, where apparently even carrying a gun now is a crime punishable by death. Like, this isn't something anyone should be championing for, but because it's become such like a team-focused sport, people delude themselves into thinking that they have to support this, and thus they will abandon all of their beliefs in order to stay on this side. It's crazy to me. I truly don't even know what the solution here is, because people are just willingly, on their own accord, no longer trusting what they see and what they know to be true. They would rather just have the government tell them what to think and what's true. So that way they don't have to do any level of thought for their own. How do you fix that? I genuinely do not know. I have no idea. I don't know how you can watch this footage and multiple angles of this situation and still come out trusting the government's word on the series of events that unfolded when you can yourself watch the footage and prove them false. What do you do to someone that just refuses to at least try and see things clearly? I don't know. But it's fucking tragic, and it's only getting worse. It is so fucking out of control. I had to yap about this. I've been actually fuming all day. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's Critical. I'm playing Shudder again. Let's do this shit. I have a plan. A plan that'll make Hannibal Smith seem like an amateur. It's the same thing I was trying last time, except I'm hoping for a different result. Your privacy is fuck. Follow my scent. Now, according to Sun Tzu's Art of War, he should surrender any moment now. He used his cloaking. I'm going for it. Ah, he shit me. I'm going for it. Just hustle. Hustle. Yes! I did it. What the fuck is this? I did the impossible and I'm rewarded with solitary confinement? Well, now I'm in quite a predicament. Because if I stay here, I've got all ass cheeks to shit and nowhere to go. But if I try and open the door, I get impaled by Santa's little helper. I'm just gonna open the door, fuck it. It seems this wall is my ally. Alright, while he's got him distracted, I'm going for it, let's do it! You son of a bitch. And to think I once called that wall my comrade. Maybe I don't use the keys on that door. Maybe I just keep Crackshot McAss locked behind it. They probably go to the door back here. That's the only other thing I can think of. That's gotta be it. Prepare yourself, door. You're about to be opened. Abracadabra. There we go. It's opened. How many times have you seen a door open? That person is split in half. Alright. 3 days earlier. Or perhaps 3 days ago. See sad move. What is this cryptic message? See sad movie? Is that what it's supposed to be? Oh. It's about time. I've been trying to figure out how to do that since I started playing this. What's this? My newest case, Penny Hill Asylum. What are the odds? I was just there. Nothing unusual to report. Case closed. Enter to use. Go fuck yourself. F for vision. Where were these hints when I needed them? They're not that helpful now. I already know this shit. You sneezed! Quickly, somebody get him a tissue, it's not too late. But it will be if we don't turn on the 1950s television. Your one-stop shop for anything relating to tissues. I don't use it much, just for the news. Bitch, you might want to make an exception. Otherwise, tomorrow's top story will be man explodes due to absence of tissue post-sneeze. Is that what you want? Fuck. The door's locked? Alright, most people keep their keys in the refrigerator. I can't open the refrigerator? What the fuck is this? Is this an apartment for holes and asses? And then they mingle and then you got whole asses? And I'm not talking about holes of asses, I'm talking about like the whole ass of asses. Splendid, I can't pick up the car keys. Alright. Can I open this pirate's treasure chest? I don't know why I thought I could do that. Awesome. Noisy floorboard. Looks like I'm gonna have to call the demolition crew to eradicate the house. T for motion. Alright, that is actually new information. I didn't know that. I don't know what it does, I don't know how it helps, but it's new information. What just happened? My sleep wasn't peaceful though. This is horrible handwriting. Who wrote that? A swan? Why am I standing on the bed? C to crouch. Alright, I guess my head's hitting the ceiling. Okie dokie. Not sure what's going on here. That damn sound waked me up. Wait a minute. Why am I gradually looking towards the ceiling? I'm in a dream. This isn't real. You're damn right this isn't real. You got flowers on your ceiling. That shit doesn't happen in reality. Nobody puts flower wallpaper on their ceilings. Oh good, the shitter, finally. Just what I needed. Some sense of normality. Time for the morning shit. Although it seems the wall's already beaten me to it, it doesn't matter. Stick to tradition. Good squatting. There we go. Good technique. Top of the morning to you. You here to watch me shit, or do you need to take a shit of your own? Now, feel free to take a shit whenever you'd like. It's right here at your disposal. To release your disposal. At least they were being respectful, looking at the wall instead of my wiener flopping around while I'm taking a shit. Alright, time to wash my hands. Not sure why the mirror is shining a flashlight in my face, but I guess it has its reasons. They must be shy to take a shit around me. I'll go ahead and leave them to their privacy. Oh shit, I'm sorry! I just bonked them with the door. I'm sorry, ma'am. Alright. Enjoy your shitting time. I'm just gonna go into the kitchen and whip something up for breakfast. Alright, you filthy sack of mucus, where'd you hide the key? I know I didn't lock the door, which means only you could have. Is it in this drawer? It is not. You know what? I'm just gonna interrogate them myself. Alright, come on. Where are you hiding it? Peekaboo, I see you. Give me the key. Not budging, huh? Let's see if a little game of open that door a little faster than usual changes your mind. Are you enjoying this activity? Do you like getting hit in the back by a door that's moving at high speeds? You can make the anguish stop by just giving me the key. Alright, fuck it. They're not gonna tell me where the key is, and I'm gonna give them a concussion they won't remember anyway. Maybe it's behind this mirror? Or maybe I vomit on the mirror and it reveals a map? Is this it right here? Or is this a pair of scissors? Nope, that's the key. There it is. The twisted fuck put the key on the sink. That is a draconian hiding spot. You are a foul creature. Here's one for the road, bitch. If you're writing a letter to your family, tell them you put the keys on the sink. They'll tell you you're no longer a human. What is going on in this hallway? Looks like a lot of titties here. Except all these titties aren't on human beings. They're on headless, armless, legless action figures. Pardon me, titties, just trying to get to the kitchen. Alright, they are setting some incredible picks right now. I cannot even make it to the hoop. What does that say? Shift to run? I'm trying, coach, but the offensive line is too strong. Somebody toss me a scooter and I'll bulldoze my way through this gauntlet. Fucking. I'm trying to make it to the wall to go around them, but they're going horizontal to stop me. They're not even pretending to care about the simple physics that govern our world. I'm almost through. I'm almost there. Just give it a push. There we go. Fucking right there. Yes! Made it! Oh shit, gravity's been turned off. It's fighting. I can take it. Oh shit. The ceiling wanted a piece of the action. Alright. Q and E to peek. Good. Shaking my head from side to side. Why is there a mummy on the counter? It doesn't matter. Hey bartender, drinks all around. Now it's a party. Oh shit, the TV's on. Let's see what we got on today's broadcast. There's even an arrow pointing to it. Your fuck? I assume you finished your shitting if you're over here watching my television without even asking permission. Where the hell am I now? It looks like they dropped your ass in a room. The television's on though, so let's see what we can watch on there. Flip through the channels. You son of a bitch. The TV's still on, don't give up yet. We will watch something on this television set. We will do it. You piece of shit! Still on, still trying, we're gonna watch something on this bitch. This is the most rebellious television I have ever come across in my life. Every time I just try and flip on some TV program. This shouldn't be so difficult to watch something on television. Why is there legs over there? They must have been trying to watch something on the same television set. Oh, hey, oh, fuck. I got right up next to it, just about to change the channel and it teleports me. Alright, let's try again. Damn it! The room is always just a little bit different, but the TV is always an asshole. Poor guy was just trying to watch some TV. Oh my goodness. Oh shit, what is... Did I complete the game? Yes! I completed the entire game! I completed it! Alright, well, I'm done playing this. Well, that's the end of this video. Remember to rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe if you want to see videos similar to this one. See ya.
That's what it would sound like if I was being drained by a Dementor. Also just now realized that this is pretty zoomed in. You weren't meant to see Charles that up close and personal. Netflix just bought Warner Bros. 82.7 billion clams. That is disastrous. I think it's terrible. You saw the news as well? That's right. Netflix now owns Warner Bros. Can you believe that shit? I know. That was the last thing I was expecting to. What are you celebrating for? No, this is bad. Hey, you're preaching to the choir. I'm not excited about it either. Yeah, well, your sister seems to think it's not that big a deal. You tell her, not me. Had a long discussion on stream about it. We are entering the era where a few companies will own literally everything. And some people are actually welcoming it with open arms and open cheeks, trying to preach about like why it's actually good for consumers for monopolies to exist. Which is crazy that we've reached this point, but there is so much corporate cocksucking now, it's become like very common, that people will actually argue against their own interests here in the market. Now, we are seeing this happen in pretty much every sector, where some of the giants, the Goliaths in the industries, will buy up some of the other behemoths. So that way they become one absolute mega corporation, which owns so much of it. So it makes it a less competitive space, which means there is less incentive for these companies to listen to consumers and make quality products because you're not going anywhere anyway. They have everything. It's a bad deal for your average Joe Schmo because the companies will be financially butt-fucking you with no remorse because what are you going to do about it? They have all of the other products. Like, it's bad. The only rare exception, the only unicorn in this objective truth is Steam, which I just made a whole video on, where Steam does have a de facto monopoly on PC gaming. It just has so much of the market on PC gaming. But it's not because it ever, like, performed any monopolistic tactics or anything like that. It got that position because it is literally just the best at what it does. All of the other options, all of the competitors are just significantly shittier, scummier, and a worse deal for consumers, so people willingly just choose Steam. Even though there is competition, most people flock to Steam because it is just the actual best. But on the whole, monopolies are very bad for you and me and everybody else. Now, in the case of Netflix specifically, I am shocked anyone is pumping their fist about it. That makes no sense to me, considering the quality of Netflix originals is so all over the place, but I would argue mainly bad. Like, you will get fucking 5 seasons of Big Mouth, irredeemable trash, coupled with a lot of other Netflix originals you've probably never heard of for every one good show that they put out. Like, you are mostly getting fed fucking poop ass. And yet, now Netflix will have even more IPs to deliver that level of stink with. It's not good, really. Like, there's nothing to really look forward to there, unless Netflix has a huge come-to-Jesus moment and a huge shift in priorities, where instead of, like, trying to fart out as much trash as they can muster from their colon, they instead focus on, like, using these IPs for quality projects, but I don't see that happening. I don't think Netflix is a buyer that anyone should have any real optimism for all of the crazy amount of IP Warner Bros. Has under their umbrella, which Netflix now has unlimited access to. Warner Bros., of course, I mean, they're no stranger to trash. They have been in a bad spot for many years now. They have been producing a lot of garbage, too. So it's not to say like Warner Bros. Is ruined. They've done a fine job of that themselves with how much trash they've had recently. But Netflix, I don't think is going to make it any better. Like, I don't think they're going to steer the ship more effectively or anything. Like, it sucks. And it's just a sign of the times where now we are going to continue to see giants buying up other giants, so then everything will be owned by a couple of corporations in each sector, which is bad. Like, that is a horrible thing, really. But anyway, let me show you some of the stream clips of me yapping about it, because I was really getting into the spaghetti and the meatballs of it. You think Netflix buying Warner Bros. Is a good or bad move? Oh, I hate it. I super hate it. But this is the way the world is going, where a couple of companies are going to own everything in sectors. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. An $82.7 billion acquisition. I also think this is now not the first, but the largest step in the death of movie theaters. Obviously, with Netflix owning Warner Bros., the movies are going to be hitting Netflix. I can't imagine they're going to be investing heavily into like a theater experience. So I think movie theaters are probably going to start being phased out over the next decade or so. Which makes me pretty upset because I really like the movie theater experience. But it's just never going to be able to compete with the convenience of seeing the new movies from your own home. Everyone's going to choose that now anyway, especially with Netflix going to most likely be putting all the Warner Bros. Releases on streaming instead of in theaters. So I struggle to think of any positives. Chatter that mentioned that now Netflix owns the Nemesis system, which is a video game patent that Warner Bros. Had fucking kegeled for the last like decade and done nothing with. The Nemesis system is from Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. Really, really fun gameplay mechanics. Love it. People have been wanting it for years. Warner Bros. Does nothing with it. Netflix owning it means it'll probably never see the light of day, because Netflix just canned their entire gaming division only like a year ago. So you're not ever going to see the Nemesis system and anything gaming adjacent that Warner Bros. Has had. They probably won't be doing anything with, would be my guess. It's such a shame. Yeah, everything becoming Netflix original is bleak. To be fair, we were never going to see it anyway. I know. Like, I'm not stupid enough to think that if Warner Bros. Stayed out of Netflix's paws, we'd somehow get a game with the Nemesis system. They had just canceled the Wonder Woman one anyway. I know. They're 100% still going to do Mortal Kombat, but that's probably it. I think definitely Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's not going anywhere. I think there's going to be a handful of legacy IP that Netflix will absolutely still produce. Because they print money. Like Mortal Kombat. Even like the more weak entries into the franchise is still an absolute cash cow. Netflix is definitely going to keep pumping Mortal Kombat games. And Warner Bros. Has so many juggernaut IP that I have to imagine Netflix will keep pumping. Like, they have the gaming rights to Harry Potter. They have, like, the DC gaming rights as well, if I remember correctly. So they're going to keep pumping those. 100%. They buying WB Games as well. It's everything Warner Bros., right? From what I was reading, they own literally everything Warner Bros. Owns, unless I've got incorrect information. It's an $82.7 billion acquisition. I'm so fucking excited. It must be kind of cool living life with that mentality. Like, oh, I watch Witcher on Netflix. I like that. And now Netflix owns Warner Bros. I get to watch everything there too now? Yippee! That's gotta be so cool. To just be able to do that. Please, Netflix, make a new season for Young Justice. Yeah, I'm sure Netflix will be able to make some quality products. Now, don't get me wrong. I have poo-pooed on Warner Bros. For a long time. Zaslav is a fucking moron. That guy is an actual homunculus. And Warner Bros. Have been spiraling for a minute. But you're crazy if you're trying to convince yourself that Netflix is somehow going to steer the ship better. But I'd love to be wrong. I would love if Netflix proved me wrong. I'll tell you that much. I would be very excited if they actually did good things with everything Warner Bros. Has. Honestly, Netflix monopoly means everything in one place. That just makes me sick to read. Oh my god. That actually just makes me sick to read. Oh, fuck me. Yuck. Netflix $79.99 a month with ads. At least it's all in one place, though. Will HBO and Netflix merge? My guess would be no. I would think with this acquisition, they will continue to have HBO Max as a separate entity from Big Brother Netflix. That would be my guess. Because they get to have their cake and eat it too. Because maybe an HBO Max subscriber isn't a Netflix subscriber. I don't know why they would even take the chance of, like, trying to combine forces there. Keep them separate. You get the double dip. Leading rumor is that Netflix is going to give Warner Bros. A 2-week theatrical release for all their movies before they hit streaming. Oh my god. And today, Netflix CEO said release windows will evolve to be shorter, so the rumor is likely true. Let me see that. I didn't see that statement from the Netflix CEO. 2-week theater run. Oh my god. Oh my god. Here it is. Yeah. Ted says Netflix committed to Warner Bros. Theatrical releasing as Cinema Trade Group calls merger unprecedented threat. We've released about 30 films into theaters this year, so it's not like we have this opposition to movies in theaters. My pushback has been mostly in the fact of the long exclusive windows, which we don't really think are that consumer friendly. He said, AMC and other chains are looking to reestablish a 30 or 45-day window to energize movie-going that dwindled during COVID. Biggest chains often won't run Netflix films with truncated windows. The entertainment community and movie theaters in particular have been immensely jittery at this corporate combination given the streamer's short window, if any, as they cater to their streaming audience. Exhibition's biggest trade group, Cinema United, came out with a blunt statement this morning opposing the merger, saying, the proposed acquisition of Warner Bros. By Netflix poses an unprecedented threat to the global exhibition business. I mean, he's not wrong. The negative impact of this acquisition will impact theaters from the biggest circuits to one-screen independents in small towns in the United States and around the world. Cinema United stands ready to support industry changes that lead to increased movie production and give consumers more opportunities to enjoy a day at the local theater, but Netflix's stated business model does not support theatrical exhibition. In fact, it's the opposite. Regulators must look closely at the specifics of this proposed transaction and understand the negative impact it will have on consumers, exhibition, and the entertainment industry. Yep, so, okay, looks like they will be putting them in theaters for a very short period of time. Then to streaming. Do we know if they own Cartoon Network Studios, and Adult Swim, or does Discovery own it? I've seen tweets saying confusing things regarding it. Again, as I understand it, they own everything that was under the Warner Bros. Umbrella, so that includes things like Cartoon Network and shit like that. Again, that's just what I was reading. I could be wrong. It's all pretty fresh. I did read, though, that they might not have all the cable assets. And if that's the case, then they wouldn't have Cartoon Network, I don't think. But again, it's still a little too fresh, not entirely sure. Shows on them might get canceled. And I'm going to tell you something. The shows on Cartoon Network are probably safer outside of the clutches of Zaslav. That man had been axing shows left and right. Cartoons, it was just a matter of time before that shit was thrown in the trash. That man was cutting shit left and right, front and center, day and night. So, there's plenty of problems you can point out. That is not really one of them. That guy had an absolute hate boner for anything animated. I'll tell you, anything animated is probably safer outside of his hands. What if they bring back Courage? I would fucking hate if Netflix brought back Courage. That shit would be so awful. I have no faith in Netflix, of all people, to make Courage, a new Courage that is still faithful to the vibe and the heart of the original. They'd have the big mouth animators work on it. Oh! God, even just the thought of that. You saw Paramount is planning to do a hostile takeover bid for Warner Bros. Because I think their deal is better than Netflix. No, is Paramount trying to fight? They hopping in the Thunderdome to buy Warner Bros? Let me see. Oh yeah, 5 hours ago. Paramount could go hostile for Warner Bros. Discovery after losing to Netflix. What's their strategy? Just put more money on top? Paramount was bested by Netflix on Friday in its efforts to buy Warner Bros. Discovery, but it may still appeal directly to Warner Bros. Shareholders through a hostile takeover offer. Why it matters. Paramount could argue that its all-cash bid of $30 a share is better in terms of both price and likelihood of regulatory approvals, although it would need to disclose more information about its debt financing. Both Netflix and Warner Bros. Discovery executives are confident they'll receive the necessary sign-offs for their deal. We've signed our deal, and we are running full speed towards regulatory approval, Netflix CEO Ted said. Netflix only agreed to buy Warner Bros. Studio and streaming assets for a combination of cash and stock after cable networks are spun out in a separate company. Paramount's offer was for the entire business. Okay, so this is confirmed then. So then Netflix is not getting their cable assets. A source close to Paramount said the company, which didn't have visibility into Netflix's offer until Friday morning, legitimately thinks it made the best bid and is currently exploring next steps. An operative word is patience. Cringe. Paramount also thinks its offer could look even better when the Comcast cable network spinoff begins trading later this month. It would serve as a market comparison to Warner Bros. Discovery stub that Netflix will leave behind. Paramount's lawyers have questioned the fairness and adequacy of the sale process, which kicked off after Paramount already had submitted 3 unsolicited offers. In a letter to the board, Paramount said the auction was tainted by management conflicts, including certain members of management's potential personal interests in post-transaction roles and compensation as a result of the economic incentives embedded in recent amendments to employment arrangements. That just sounds like fucking gobbledygook from Sore Loser there. It underscored concerns of board director bias towards a Netflix bid without considering heightened regulatory risk and potential value of a full bid versus a partial asset bid. That's a who cares moment, I would say, if you're on like the Netflix board, if you're more biased, or if you're on the Warner Bros. Board, if you're more biased towards Netflix, I guess. Not illegal to prefer Netflix over Paramount. Unless there is some kind of, like, legality to it, which I would be surprised. Worth mentioning, Paramount received help from Saudi Arabia for their bid. What? No! That's impossible. No matter who wins this bid, we all lose. Yeah, I know, that's what we were talking about. It's not a good thing.
Initiating moisture.
Welcome to the Moist Meter. Today we're looking at the new Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. It's weird, Maleficent's one of the very few Disney movies where critics felt confident enough in their 3 inches of usable penis to come out and just openly shit on and tear apart in their reviews. And that's very uncommon and uncharacteristic of these pathetic worms, because usually they'll suck the ass of anything Disney related. They're usually not overly harsh on Disney movies, but for some reason Maleficent was where they finally rallied their flags and started shitting on it openly. And now for Mistress of Evil, they're doing the same thing and openly shitting on it, just being super hard on the movie, which, I mean, it'd be great if it made sense, but to me it doesn't. Maleficent's not exactly the Disney movie that I think's deserving of this kind of bukkake session. It's not bad. The first one I enjoyed quite a bit, and the second one I enjoyed even more so. Well, not even more so, but just as much, for a different reason. I don't understand why it's the subject to the critics just annihilating it. It's very strange to me. Maybe it's just pent-up aggression from not being able to give honest reviews in some movies because they get funding from some of the studios and don't want to look bad or offend fans. But I really don't see what critics hate about the movies. It's the first one, for example, had a very fun twist on a classic story we've all heard and seen in the animated version. It's an alternate telling of the story that's really visually pleasing, as well as being pretty goddamn dark for a Disney fairy tale. It's something unique, which is significantly better than the lazy fucking rehashes of the same story with a one-to-one recreation of the animated to live action like Lion King and shit like that. I much prefer a unique twist on it or a new creative vision of the story. Mistress of Evil admittedly isn't as good as the first one in the department of telling you a unique story to the universe. This one doesn't really have the same type of emotional levels that the first one did, nor does it really try to. The emphasis on this one is more about fear and war, which is very unique to a fucking Disney classic fairy tale, and I like that. By the time the credits roll in this movie, fucking 10,000 humans and 10,000 fairies have all perished brutally. I'm talking straight murder. The fairies get vaporized like they'd been caught in an atomic bomb testing facility. It goes pretty goddamn hard for a PG Disney fairy tale movie. Now, one complaint I have is Maleficent herself, Angelina Jolie, really isn't a big part of this movie. She's very rarely on screen in this movie. She's like Godzilla in the Godzilla movies, where he's barely ever on screen. It's just kind of a letdown, because I think she's a great Maleficent. I think she fucking kills it. So to really not have her as a very big presence in the movie, I think, is a bit of a misstep. But it's still fun. It's still well made. The story, admittedly, isn't the most complex or the most surprising with its twists and turns or anything. But it's unique enough to the universe that I still very much enjoyed it. I don't have a whole lot of complaints about this movie. All I have is nice things to say about it because I enjoyed it. I felt like I was watching more than just a passionless retelling of something we've seen already 1,000 times that Disney for some reason just keeps fucking whipping with the whip over there with Mickey Mouse and forcing it to dance on screen for more money from China and from, you know, the coming of age people that haven't seen the animated versions. So to see something that has a different twist and does try and be unique in an already existing IP is something I'll always respect. And I think both Maleficent movies do a good job of that. I don't think anyone's going to be bored with them because they move along pretty fast and they are kind of hardcore. They do kill characters, which I don't see a whole lot of in movies for kids these days. I mean, I understand it's a kids movie. You're not going there expecting blood, tits, and rock and roll flying around. But to actually kill off important characters and to kill them off in the way that Maleficent does, it's pretty rare to see. So I like what they've done with the Maleficent 1 and 2. Maleficent 2 I think is a bit weaker than the first one, but it is still just as visually pleasing, probably more so, especially when it comes time to the battle and the war. It's a really nice spectacle of this red mist that's just vaporizing the fairies, as well as some combat between them. And then there's some like really anime moments, you know, arms go out and then all of a sudden spells are flying out of her hands. I half expected to hear the Evangelion theme song to come on half the time during the fight. Before I forget, there's one thing I want to mention. There's like 5 or 6 times you think the movie's just about to wrap itself up, like you would just hit the climax and now we're about to come down towards the resolution, and then it doesn't. It keeps going, which isn't necessarily a huge complaint, but it's really odd that they'd have like these really hardcore emotional moments that you think are about to just be like the deciding end of where this is going, and then it keeps going. I don't know, it kind of threw me off a couple times. Not that it's that big of a deal, but it's just something to make note of. They really wanted to, you know, tease you over there with that little foreplay, that little hint that it's coming. Oh, kidding, it's not coming yet. We've still got the stamina. It's just, from start to finish, I did enjoy the movie, and I think Maleficent 1 and 2 are a nice addition to the established property that they're spinning off of. I think they justify their existence, and they seem like a passionate retelling of a classic tale, and I like that. So putting Maleficent Mistress of Evil on the Moist meter, I'm giving it a nice fat 70%. I would recommend it if you're a fan of Disney movies or fairy tales in general. I think it's a fun movie, and usually these kind of movies I think are very forgettable, but with Maleficent, at least in the first one's respect, it's a movie that I think about a little bit because I did like what it did, and I like the universe it created, and Mistress of Evil really goes in hard and doubles down on that universe. Doesn't really add a whole lot to it as a whole, because I feel like the first one kind of wrapped itself up nicely enough that the second one didn't need to be made, but it had a story to tell and it told it well, and I enjoyed it. that's it. So yeah. I just saw a really interesting scam that I got a yap about because it reminded me of an experience I had when I first moved into my apartment out in a God's country on my own, finally leaving the nest of my parents. And boy howdy, let me tell you, I had a wacky experience with a scam that could have resulted in me missing a kidney, a nipple, and all $40 in my wallet. And the video I just watched from Inside Edition talks about a modern scam that feels like a new iteration of what I went through.
It's a blackmail caper stranger than fiction. This couple says they returned home to find their beloved dog missing from their backyard.
We were so scared. We didn't know what had happened to him.
Then came a phone call. Their 11-year-old beagle mix named Archer had been found. They say they were sent this photo showing the poor pooch with a terrible wound.
So some fucking scoundrels went and they actually did steal this couple's dog. So they kidnapped the dog and then called them to tell them that the dog had actually been found, but unfortunately it had gotten in an accident and it was going to need surgery. And then sending proof, they AI generated this image of their dog on an operating table at a vet. Now, why this kind of relates to what happened to me out of college in my apartment is because one day, randomly, I had received a phone call from a stranger, the fucking cold call out of nowhere from the boogeyman, and they started spinning a tall tale about how my mother was driving and ran over this guy's brother at the gas station, just fucking mowed him down like it was GTA, and it was now my responsibility to get over there and clear this all up. I don't even remember what they were demanding. I think it was like I bring money or something in order to squash it. And it was just an extremely tense situation. And I would ask for proof, and they're like, nope, your mother can't talk right now. I've got her, you know, she's too panicked, and I've got her, like, calm down, and I don't want to, like, you know, get her all excited again or something. Like, she's some kind of fucking zoo animal or something. But, like, at the time, I was just like, okay, man, I guess mom done made a big old boo-boo here. Come on, what were you thinking, mom? Jeez, Jiminy Christmas, this is ridiculous. And at the time, it didn't really occur to me to start, like, interrogating, so I didn't ask, like, the best questions, but I was like, all right, if I can't talk to her, let me just go ahead and give her a call myself real quick just to, you know, see what's going on. And he's like, no, if you hang up this phone, I'm taking your mom, or something like that. Or maybe he was like, then the police will have to get involved and they'll beat you here. So I don't even remember now. It's been so many years. But basically, it was about like, I need to go there and pay because my mom did this. And it was all just a big fucking lie over the phone. Eventually, I was like, you know what? This sounds fishy. Slowly but surely, I started breaking out of the genjutsu. This was a long conversation, mind you, of them trying to like really fucking use as much elbow grease as possible and, you know, get me out the door over there with some money for him or whatever it was. But eventually I was just like, all right, man, look, Squirt, this isn't adding up. I don't know why I can't talk to my mom about this if she's right there and you're like making this threat. It feels very off. Eventually I wisened up and finally started reaching the conclusion that this is likely phony baloney. But even in the slim chance that it wasn't, I kind of liked my mom's odds in this case here. If things did start to get rowdy, she carries, and I bet on her in this situation. So eventually I just hung up, gave her a ring. Obviously, it turns out none of it was legitimate at all. It was just completely made up. It was a scam. But I really was considering going over there. In fact, I had even got my wallet and my keys, and I was like, all right, I'll just start making a trip over there because they gave me like an address to the gas station. The point is, this kind of thing is obviously alarming, and it kind of throws a lot of things out of whack in the old noodle up here. It makes steel trap all cattywampus. So this couple, when they got this call as well as this picture of their dog, they didn't like immediately recognize it as a scam, which I totally relate to. If I had received an AI generated photo of my mom behind the wheel going like a Mr. Beast thumbnail from those scammers, I wouldn't have thought twice. I would have been out the door on my way over steaming like, oh.
Being prepped for surgery. Bill and Allison Cousins say the caller identified himself as a vet and said Archer had been run down by a car.
He was going to have surgery because he had a broken femur and a dislocated shoulder. And we were like, yes, whatever needs to be done.
Archer's panicked owners were told the surgery would cost $2,746. They were willing to pay up, but then they realized some things just didn't add up. First, they received a text instructing them to pay with Walmart or CVS gift cards.
As any reputable vet would request. We don't accept money or credit or anything like that. Only these extremely specific means through this text message here. Please click this link. And that's kind of how it happened for me, too. Like, eventually it's like, no, you gotta come over here. No, you can't talk to her. No, you can't hang up this phone, as if it was like, fucking Keanu Reeves in Speed or something. Like, eventually it started to dawn on me, same as it did for them. Like, it's easy to look at this and be like, how did they not immediately recognize that as AI or, like, all just a bunch of fucking hullabaloo? But when you get, like, a call like this, it's alarming, it's jarring, and especially now with AI, it is enough to, like, fool you, at least temporarily. And they did actually have their dog stolen. In my case, they didn't, fucking hog tie my mom or anything like that. Like, they were just straight up lying, but in their case, they actually did take their dog. So they had even more reason to believe that, okay, maybe there's an air of legitimacy to all of this, until, of course, they got that text message about how wacky the payment protocol was for this supposed vet. Then they started to really look at that photo they got sent of Archer on the table.
Then they were sent another photo of Archer post-surgery, this time with fancy bandages.
I'm like, this is exactly the same as the first picture, just the two doctors had moved.
And look at the date on the x-rays.
It says 12/21/2022.
Wow.
Holy shit, it's more serious than we thought. Arthur ran so fast that he traveled back in time 4 years. Must have been hit by the DeLorean or something. Oh my goodness heavens to Betsy. So yeah, when you really look at it, it falls apart. But the thing with the AI and scams, like we talked about with the AI voicemail scams, where AI scammers, not voicemail, but AI voice scammers, where they will emulate a loved one in order to try and like weasel money out of a relative. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be good enough. And since they're preying on people that are in a vulnerable state already, like them missing their dog and trying to exploit that, it's even more effective there because they're just really wanting their dog to be okay and safe, and they're willing to pay to ensure he gets proper care. So they're more willing to believe that.
Almost 4 years ago.
Correct.
Turns out the photos were entirely AI generated. The AI scam failed, but the heartbroken owners were still missing their dog, Archer. Then, 4 days later, Archer suddenly showed up at their front door in Deltona, Florida. Here he is. Hey, Archer.
Here's our Archer.
I actually couldn't believe this shit right here. So the fucking scumbags that stole their dog from their property ended up returning the dog after they failed to get money out of this. That was a bigger subversion of my expectations than everything that happened with Game of Thrones at the end. I am shocked. Like, it doesn't redeem the scammers and dog nappers here, but I am happy at least that, their heart grew 3 sizes there, like the Grinch, and they did decide to return the dog when they realized that this didn't work. Because I imagine in most cases with these fucking vile worms, they do not care about the dog or anything or the family, so they'll, maybe kill the dog, have it put down, or, throw it in a shelter or just release it into the wild on the side of the road or something like that. So I was really surprised to see that they actually did just bring the dog back.
Without being able to make a buck, the dog napper apparently decided to return Archer.
Archer,
Hey, buddy.
how do you try to take advantage of people when they're at their most vulnerable? Like, that's disgusting.
Archer's owners think he was confined because he's walking like he sore. The sheriff's department is investigating.
My guess is this isn't an isolated incident. I imagine that this is a group that goes out and actively searches for animals that they can steal and then try and ransom to these families and mislead them by saying like, oh, we found your dog and now we need this money in order to take care of their injuries, that kind of thing, just exploiting the vulnerability. And like she mentioned, it is very twisted. It is disgusting stuff, but that's what scammers prey on. That's what they look for. And now in the age of AI, they can more effectively manipulate their victims and more effectively convince them of basically anything they want. So, anyway, I saw this earlier today, and while it is like wacky, like the AI image they sent of the dog in surgery and then it, got all patched up there, and it's very clearly just AI generated fucking hoopla. It is scary though, because they did steal that dog and they were looking for thousands of dollars from this family, trying to lead them to believe that it was going to a vet that cared for their beloved animal. Now, luckily it does have a happy ending. They got the dog back, but I imagine in most cases like this, family probably doesn't. So hopefully they do catch these assholes responsible. Anyway, I just wanted to put this on your radar and yap about it. It's really about it. So, yep. I got a little something special to make you happy this Friday morning, so clear a little space in your room and get ready to bust out the old hot dog dance. You're going to be cutting the rug when you hear this. U.S. Supreme Court declines to hear dispute over copyrights for AI-generated material. That's right. They are not folding like origami here on this topic. There has already been a precedent set that you cannot copyright AI-generated work. And despite AI dweebs constantly trying to fight tooth and nail for copyright protections for their sludge and slop of AI art and that shit, the U.S. Supreme Court is saying, nuh-uh. No, this is dumb, this is barnacles, which is exactly what they should be doing. Under no circumstances should AI-generated work be eligible for copyright protection. That's such an outlandish notion. This can just put the smile on the face of even the biggest Grinch. Supreme Court declined on Monday to take up the issue of whether art generated by artificial intelligence can be copyrighted under U.S. law, turning away a case involving a computer scientist from Missouri who was denied a copyright for a piece of visual art made by his AI system. Plaintiff Stephen Thaler had appealed to the justices after lower courts upheld a U.S. Copyright Office decision that the AI-crafted visual art at issue in this case was ineligible for copyright protection because it did not have a human creator. Music to my ears. That is exactly right. Pin the tail on the donkey. That is the truth with some cheese on it. AI-generated shit like this, these AI hemorrhoids, are not actual human creations at all. It isn't something that should be copyrightable, especially because what gets generated is based off of other people's work, already existing works. It's just derivative of that, what it was trained on. So I am happy to see that common sense is prevailing here in this case. And also, I've seen some people bemoaning this decision here about like how this is so bad for AI artists. Won't someone think of the struggling AI artists? And it's interesting because one of the core arguments I've seen from that community is that IP is a scam. No one should own IP. It should be freely and readily accessible to everyone to steal and iterate on. And yet, then they turn around and try and copyright their own AI trash, their own AI IP, so they can keep it under lock and key. Goddamn hypocrites. It's ridiculous. Also, that whole argument is stupid in the first place. If there was no such thing as IP, then you know who benefits? It's not the little guy. It's not like the average Joe Schmo. It's the big corporations. They can just take all of your shit and pump out endless content far better than any normal person ever could. So while there definitely are some very real problems with current IP law, the whole idea of IP is sensible and necessary, because if it didn't exist, what stops Disney from just going online and just taking everyone's shit, right? Like, let's say they stumble across Godslap, our comic book IP, as well as upcoming animated feature film. They could easily just be like, okay, well, we'll just go ahead and take that and we'll beat Charles and his team to it. What takes them years will take us months, and we'll just start making tons of money off Godslap. Fuck them. And if there's no such thing as IP, what am I going to do? They could just biblically smack me down. But because there are protections in place, I could absolutely blast those cheeks in a court of law about the violations there. So there is a real merit to IP existing. Yes, there are problems, but it is a necessary thing, because if it didn't exist, the people that benefit are not you, me, or any other person. It's companies that would benefit from just taking your shit and capitalizing off it, and you get in return nothing. Absolutely nothing. So it's a brain-dead argument from a brain-dead community of AI jingling keys enthusiasts that clearly don't fucking think for themselves anymore. They just ask Grok to do it for them. It's so degenerate and so cringe, and I love seeing news like this where there's a bit of a reality check there. And yet they still can't have that come to Jesus moment about, maybe we're the fucking idiots. Maybe we're the ones that aren't activating neurons. Anyway, though, to go back to dancing in this guy's tears, a federal judge in Washington upheld the office's decision in the Thaler case in 2023, writing that human authorship is a bedrock requirement of copyright, and the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia affirmed the ruling in 2025. Thaler's lawyers told the Supreme Court in a filing that his case was of paramount importance considering the rapid rise of generative AI. Oh yeah, I'm sure this is a big life or death moment here. This case we're going to be talking about for eons to come, no doubt, about this one fucking stupid asshole's dumb AI-generated piece of art of train tracks going to a portal. Like, yeah, I'm sure this is the one of paramount importance. Oh my god, it's so cringe. With the refusal by the court to hear the appeal, Thaler's lawyer said, even if it later overturns the Copyright Office's test in another case, it will be too late. The Copyright Office will have irreversibly and negatively impacted AI development and use in the creative industry during critically important years. Stop, no! I can only come so hard. I can only handle so much good news all at once. Oh, that just sounds so wonderful. Smooth silk in my ears. Although the Copyright Act does not define the term author, multiple provisions of the Act make clear that the term refers to a human rather than a machine, the administration said. The Supreme Court previously rejected Thaler's request to hear his argument in a separate case involving prototypes for a beverage holder and a light beacon concerning whether AI-generated inventions should be eligible for U.S. patent protections. This guy just sucks. What a loser. His patent applications were rejected by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on similar grounds. You don't say! This guy just keeps hawking anything AI generated and taking it to Big Daddy government. Hey guys, can we get some patents and protections for this trash, please? Oh, come on! AI worked so hard on it. I'm a prompt engineer. Think about me. Please copyright it. Please! The desperation is like a tasty treat here. This guy wants copyright protection for his AI-generated trash, yet believes that it's totally fine to take from other real human beings' work in order to make his shit. So it's like, okay, I can steal from you, but if anyone tries to take my train tracks to a portal, it's getting pugilistic, okay? Government, back me up, please. What do you mean, no? This really is such a good thing, because let's think about this at scale, even outside of this dumbass's train track AI piece. Companies that, like, replace their entire creative workforce with AI down the line. Well, assuming these rulings continue to be upheld, it's going to mean that their output won't be protected by copyright anymore because it will not be human created, right? That would be the implication. They've set the precedent that it must be a human author, and just simply typing sentences to have AI, a machine, do it all for you doesn't count. So, when you have Coca-Cola, for example, that's become addicted to AI slop with all of their AI commercials, when you have them putting out these fully AI-generated commercials, they don't actually own any of that, it seems. That would be the understanding, that what they are spitting out from AI is not copyrightable. So those are completely nothing. They don't own shit. Someone who develops a shitty game in Roblox owns more IP than Coke does of that commercial that they've just put out there. Which makes sense because, again, humans didn't create it. There's nothing real in there from an actual human that made that, other than the sentences, which don't count because it is a machine that does it all for you. So, maybe this could even serve as a deterrent from these fucking vampiric corporations that are just doing their best to ham-fist AI into every single aspect of their companies to replace as many people as possible. Maybe they would think twice, because as it all goes fully AI, they no longer have copyright protections on what gets farted out from it. So, who knows? But anyway, I just wanted to celebrate this because this is a very positive development here. I think this is absolutely the right choice, and hopefully it never wavers. I hope they don't falter on this stance, because they are correct. Copyrightable work should be reserved exclusively for human-created work, not AI drivel. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. I've recently been feeling a lot like how I imagine ancient Mayan culture felt when they first gazed upon the stars and thought to themselves, there's something else out there. I've been on the cusp of a big discovery, one that I've found a deep appreciation for, and I'm only just now learning the intricacies of. And that is SpongeBob horror games. It is a fascinating genre I didn't even know existed in this capacity until only a month or so ago, when I played one on a whim for my gaming channel, and now I'm hooked on them. I just want to kind of put these on your radar because I have been having a lot of fun playing SpongeBob horror games for some reason. Granted, on my gaming channel, I have been playing a ton of horror games, but probably my favorites so far are the SpongeBob-themed ones. I can't wait to see all 4. I imagine one of them is a cease and desist from Nickelodeon or something, perhaps? No, I don't do that. If they actually did cease and desist like Nintendo, Mr. Krabs overdoses on ketamine and dies, that would have had the creator thrown in jail years ago. This'll make it cost a little more. Oh, that's no problem, sir. I'm reading this like fucking Grok AI would. I have many students, so I can afford to pay for it. Wow, it means you're a great art teacher. Yes, indeed, I'm professor of art. This is going to be exciting. I get to clean Squidward's classroom. Let's put on my Sunday best. Wow, in the middle of nowhere, Bikini Bottom, huh? Shit is rock bottom. Alright, I'm coming in. Squidward! Oh, this place is filthy. There it is. It is unbelievable. I've only been back in the fucking Megazord here of indie games for 2 weeks, playing really dog shit throwaway horror games, and 5 of the last 7 or so, I haven't posted a video on all of them yet, but 5 at least of the last 7 or 8 have all had a broom sweeping element to it. It is unbelievable how common this is. Is that the most horrific thing someone can think of when making a game? Chores? Surely there's more we could be exploring. I would think. If I'm lucky, some of Mr. Tentacle's talent may rub off on me. This actually is a banger episode, by the way. This is one of the classic SpongeBob episodes that just goes fucking ballistic, even holding up super well today. Use needle. Seems about right for old tennis balls. Condom. Come on, SpongeBob, I'll give you one more chance. Use all your knowledge and imagination. Okay, I won't make any more mistakes. First, the artist must concentrate and visualize his concept. Now you've got it. Now I've got to embrace the marble. I've got to be the marble. I've got to fuck the marble. I gotta lick the marble. I gotta serve the marble. With this tool I shall give birth to art. Hit it gently. Yes! Now one more thing left. The nose. Now it's alright. Well, what do you think, Squidward? Asshole! Is this where it finally becomes a horror game? He just point-blank assaulted SpongeBob. I saw the whole thing. How dare you shitting on me, SpongeBob? Ouch, it's hurt, Squidward. Don't mind me, just doing my job over here. Want no part of this. Fuck you, SpongeBob. Give me a beautiful sculpture. I'm sorry, Squidward, but I can't imagine like before. You son of a bitch. I'll kicking you repeatedly until you make the sculpture. Please forgive me, Squidward. I'm your friend. No, you're not. I've always hated you. You've always ruined my life, SpongeBob. So many times you shattered my dreams. You destroyed everything I had. My house is often damaged because of you and your stupid friend Patrick. I spent a lot of money to renovate it. I almost lost my job several times, all because of you. Why annoying person like you always around me? You become my neighbor. You work where I work. You're everywhere, you asshole. And now you also come to my art class. You arrogantly flaunted your skills in front of me. What do you really want, SpongeBob? SpongeBob's eyes roll in the back of his skull and he fucking sheds his mortal skin like his flesh suit and becomes this transcendent cosmic Lovecraftian horror. Okay, my job's done. Jesus! He's got SpongeBob stun locked. I'll just put this back. I'm not going to intervene. Squidward! Good to see you, bud. That's my boy. Smoking a doobie out here, huh? Got yourself a fucking doink? Alright. Good evening, sir. What are you doing out here? Oh, Mr. Smalldick, I've been waiting for you. Please clean the classroom. Yes, sir. By the way, bring this flashlight. What's it for? It's dark inside, probably due to an electrical short circuit. Waiting for the technician to come here, you just clean up inside. You got it. Doesn't seem too filthy to, well... a couple of broken pieces. Good Lord, SpongeBob, what has he done to you? Oh, God, well, he should be able to regenerate. He's immortal. SpongeBob, he's dead! What's going on here? Who did this? It was that old Monty P. Moneybags, wasn't it? If you're still alive, then I'm going to have a really big problem. I must kill you immediately. Damn, this is bad. Left mouse to fire the gun. Okay. Where is he? Shit. Ah. I did it! I defended myself! Jesus. Idiot, you're dealing with the wrong person! Gun will always win against chainsaw. Go to hell, you motherfucker. This must be one of the 4 endings. This is my chance. But no. I already said no more crime. And lying to an art collector is a crime, damn it. And murder, it was in self-defense. That's not a crime. So I will be honest, it was Mr. Squidward. This crazy squid is responsible for all this.
My name is Squidward, and I hate my life. I wake up every day, go to work, and come back home.
That AI voice is rough.
Nothing ever changes. I'm thinking of killing myself.
Oh man, that's dark.
Before I kill myself, I want to kill the people I hate.
Damn, Squidward. Come on, Squiddy. It's not all that
I
bad.
can't stand working here. Everyone is so fat and annoying. I don't care anymore. I'm going to kill all these people.
No, don't do it, Squidward. There's other alternatives.
Get ready to die.
What about fun? Come on, Squidward, no. They all have to die? I mean, maybe that guy deserves it. He looks like he's disguising himself, probably on the run for some heinous crimes. Oh, wait, do I do something now? I can't move or anything. Oh, I see. I throw the Krabby Patties like shuriken. Take this!
No!
Oh, God. I one-tapped him with the Krabby Patty. Get out of here! You've made Squidward unhappy.
Hell, you bastards.
I just find it hard to believe they're responsible for it. They're just hungry customers. Even in death, she couldn't let go of the Krabby Patty. It was too delicious. He knows what's coming, but I'm out of objects to throw. Oh, I see. I'm not fully out of things to throw. I can just launch lead at them. Shit! The police are here! I gotta finish up! Okay. It was like this when I got here. I swear.
It's time I killed Mr. Grass.
Oh, he's running. He knows. God, everything is so big and I'm so small. It's mimicking real life right now. It's hitting too close to home.
Squidward, what is happening here? Is that a gun?
I came to kill you. And to take your money.
No!
See you in hell.
His voice acting was actually just ripped from a SpongeBob episode. You can hear the background music playing where they just got it. That's cute. Where's your $1 million, Mr. Krabs? Tell me and I might let you live. Not talking, eh? Not even using a sentence enhancer? Oh, his eyes don't have a hitbox. I gotta pop him right in his fucking nose. Oh, it's Squidward! What's up, bud? Oh! Oh, okay. Damn, Squidward, he means business. That was one hell of a move he got me with. I'm coming, Pat. Oh, Patrick! I'll unplug it. Oh, that's not how that works. Hold on. Maybe there's an on, an off switch. Also, you're not strapped down. Why don't you just move? Just move! Hold on, I gotta turn this off. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Shut the power off.
Finally, I'm free! I got circumcised again.
That's a banger line, actually. You and me both, Patrick. Double dipping on the circumcision, am I right? Anything here? No. This must be for SpongeBob's sauna. Gary, no! Gary, why? What the fuck, Squidward? What did Gary ever do to make your life miserable? That's alright. I mean, I guess I kind of get it. SpongeBob. Hey, SpongeBob. Good to see you, bud. Here, I'll help you out.
Hey, Sandy! Did you come to help me?
Yes, SpongeBob. What is this machine?
How the fuck should I know? Squidward put me in it! And I think it's gonna split me in half.
Sandy cheeks, I'm coming to clap those cheeks.
He's coming, Sandy.
This game kind of goes hard.
In the closet.
How did Squidward get this whole machine here?
Get ready to die.
Squidward, no! Please, I will do anything if you let me go.
Squids don't have dicks. Get fucked, SpongeBob.
No! There we go. There's one. Oh, that's gonna just set SpongeBob on fire. No, wait! I can go get more water and extinguish the flames. I gotta wait for Squidward, though. Sorry, just... Can you calm down? You can see I'm actively helping you. Oh, you're safe. Bet you feel like $1 million now, huh?
Thank you, Sandy! You saved me!
You're welcome.
Look, Sandy, Squidward is here!
SpongeBob, you ruined my plans again. This will be the last time. It's time for me to die.
Oh, no! Squidward! Why? This one focuses on the hash-slinging slasher, and it's sure to make me very frightened. I'm hoping it can put some poop in my pants. Let's get after it. This one's for Bikini Bottom. Nice. We did it. Put valuables in safe. Ah! The spatula for a hand. He's here to fuck my ass. Jackpot. What the hell? Oh no! Get back here, scoundrel! The hash-slinging slasher's gonna kill him! Anchovies! This is definitely a valuable. That's the secret formula. Hopefully the hash-slinging slasher won't recognize that... What the hell is he doing? He's motorboating me! No! Stop it! He's breathing heavy, he's moaning. He likes it. I'm causing him to hyperventilate. No! He got me! Wow, this is a really... like, chopping lettuce in real life is faster. Holy shit. Okay. I need to hide. Oh, close. That was close. He's gonna see the chopped lettuce and know something's up. He's gonna know he's not alone. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, 2 of 6. And that is now out of... What are you doing? There's a lot of rowdy customers. I've got the red pan. I've got the red pan. I've got it. I've got it. Okay, I just need to drop the red pan off and take out the last trash. I don't know if I was just missing it last time or if I maybe accidentally kicked it under the dumpster at some point. I don't know. But I turned this fucking thing inside out. I think I have spent longer playing this game than the developer spent making this game. I have spent longer at the Krusty Krab than Mr. Krab himself. And it's all worth it. I've got the last piece of the puzzle. Has he vanished? I don't know. I feel like he probably has. That was scary. That was extremely scary. Wow. 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 Is he still here? Is he still here? If he's here and he gets me, I'm just quitting. Okay, I think I'm safe. Okay. Last thing. Last trash. Come on, baby. Alright, we're free. We're free. We're free. Oh my god. Forever! Forever! Lock main entrance. I'm just going to wait until he spawns and leaves. I'm not taking any chances. I'm immediately going against what I just said, but I don't know, because he might not spawn. Someone's trying to call me and lure me in. Okay. Okay. It's locked. It's locked. The menace is sealed. I hope you're ready to squeal, because I got a real scary experience to show you today, no doubt. This is Nightmare in Squidville, another SpongeBob horror game.
Upon the brow, and in parting, from you now.
What am I... Okay, this is interesting.
We must find Squidward. It's already dark.
Oh, I must have fallen asleep. Let us knock on some doors to find out where he is.
That's a good plan. Let's go, Patrick. Squidward needs our help. There's a fire over here. Maybe some cult activity. Maybe they're burning him at the stake! Squidward, I'm coming!
Hello! Have you seen Squidward?
Nobody home. I have no clues to go off of. They didn't leave a ransom note or anything. Wait. I see, like, aliens or something over there? Mr. Tennis Balls!
Is this Squidward over there?
Oh, baby! He's feral. Oh, okay. Oh, I can drive. It crashed my game. No, they knew SpongeBob didn't have his boating license. Okay, hopefully that's just a one-time thing.
Hey, SpongeBob, wake up. We must find Squidward. It's already dark.
Yes, you're right. You're right, Patrick.
You must have fallen asleep.
Hey, Squidward.
Oh, Squidward!
Squidward,
Oh, wow.
we have been looking for you all day.
Hi, Squidward. Why are you in a cage?
SpongeBob, Patrick, I'm happy to see
Oh,
you.
he's drugged.
Would you be so kind and help me out?
He sounds very
Tactical
drunk,
Eggers is a
even.
trap. They got me here. They're cannibals. They have eaten the other ones. I am next. I tried to fly away with a leaf blower.
Sounds like he's overdosing. Patrick, get the Narcan.
Threw me in a cage. And the kid must be somewhere near here. Maybe you see them gathered at the park.
Please hang in there. We see what we can do. Either we find the K or there is another way.
Yes.
Alright, good plan. So, to the park then? Open up! I want to ask you a few questions. Oh, the park happens to be right there. Good news, Patrick. The park wasn't far. I wish they'd stop planting steel plants out here.
Drive over them.
Drive over them. I got them! The day is saved. Maybe one of them had a key. Alright, hop in the boatmobile, Squidward. Oh, they're lapped up. They've started the air raid sirens over there. Not on this side, though, just over there. They know there's been a jailbreak. Crash through the site fast. I did it! Oh my god!
Hell is rising.
Hell is rising?
No. Do you see this in front of us?
This isn't hell rising, this is like the large intestines of a body. Oh!
Come on. We get through this nightmare.
We can do this! Okay, how long does this go for, you think?
You need to boost.
Press space to boost. Turbo mode! The NOS booster's activated. Granny shifting.
We are trapped inside a dream. Where Squidbill of the demons have break the spell.
You will terrorize Bikini Bottom no longer. They're screeching at me. Ooh, huge collateral. What a wonderful sound. This might be it. I don't see them spawning anymore.
Sleep well.
Yeah! Is the spell broken? Or do we have to defeat the Flying Dutchman yet?
Thank you, SpongeBob. You saved us.
Oh god. That's the end of the game, I see. There's a handful of things that can instantly make pretty much anyone's blood boil. Hitting your toe on something, or road rage, just inconveniences while driving. But few things can make you see red and ruin your day quite like animal cruelty, watching someone abuse their pets. It's horrific, and it immediately elicits a response of disgust and anger. Even the most calm person on the planet would lose their cool and go into a bubbling rage if they saw a video of someone beating their dog or cat or something like that. Like, I know Thorfinn famously said he has no enemies, but he didn't see Aspen Cartier beating her puppy on a Twitch stream. That's what we're talking about today. A couple days ago, a streamer and I guess also rapper named Aspen Cartier was streaming and then started beating her puppy because it got out of its cage. I don't really know how to even show you this clip because it is just animal abuse. It would get the video taken down, I imagine. So I'm going to try and cut around it to show you the very clear evidence of what unfolded on stream that she's trying to deny happened, which has become a very common tactic, I guess, in the modern day and age to just say that what you saw with your eyes isn't real. Take my word for it as opposed to what you witnessed.
I think we're finna end stream out because this motherfucking dog, like, goddamn. I'm not gonna be on social media until February 1st, so. How you get out the cage? Fuck you guys.
I'm going to cut it right here. This continues for quite a while longer, like another 15 or so seconds, of the dog screaming and yelping in pain with what sounds like her striking it. It then ends with this. What a fucking scumbag. That is a 3-month-old puppy, by the way. So, as a result of this being broadcast on stream, which she didn't seem to have any issue with on her end, she thought everything was, business as usual. What's the big deal? What? You guys don't do this to your 3-month-old puppy? You never heard of discipline? Hey, he got out of his cage. I gotta get him with the goddamn fucking Tekken combo. It's the only way to teach the dog about, not leaving the cage without my permission. It's crazy how it didn't even register that what she did here was bad. So, she did get banned for this, and she tried to defend herself by saying she didn't beat the dog and brought the dog in as like a witness to explain that it's fine.
Why you beat the damn dog? I didn't beat the fucking dog. Is you beat? Is you beat up? Say I'm really small and I over-exaggerate. Say it. Say it. Okay, tell him. Tell him that you're fine. Tell him right now. I'm not playing. Tell them. Tell them. You're fine and you're for sale. Oh my God, he's so fucking dramatic.
That's her defense, that the dog is dramatic. Regular old Phoenix right here. Watertight explanation here. What an excuse. Pack it up, folks. Case closed. The dog was just being dramatic. Just disregard all of the very clear fucking haymakers she was dropping on the dog. The dog was being, just dramatic about it. You gotta rub some dirt in it, obviously. Fucking psychopath. Absolute lunatic. In this video, well, in the second video where she's got the dog on its back, it's very clear that this puppy does not want to be around her. It looks traumatized and afraid of her and is constantly trying to get away from her, which is why it's starting to, cry out when trying to remove itself from her grasp. Are some dogs dramatic? Sure. I feel like anyone that's ever had dogs knows that sometimes, for example, when giving a bath, they will sometimes get very dramatic about not wanting a bath. This is so fucking different from that. This is clearly a dog that is afraid and a dog that was crying in pain being hit. You can see it on stream. And you can hear a lot of really concerning sounds on stream as well while the dog is crying. This is a totally different situation. This is not the dog being dramatic. This is her being a fucking monster. Now, this blew up to such a big degree that the authorities were alerted multiple times about this, and they ended up taking in Aspen Cartier. They charged her with animal cruelty, and when authorities brought the dog in from her custody, they noted that it seemed to be in good health, so it doesn't seem like the dog has suffered any, debilitating injuries or anything like that, which the drooling worms that are desperately trying to defend her are really latching onto, saying, see, the dog is completely fine. She didn't beat the dog at all. Let me go ahead and sit you down here, stupid, since it seems like you just blew in from fucking Moronville. Them reporting that the dog appeared to be in good health just means that there were no observable injuries that they were able to notice, like a limp, you know, an injured leg, something like that, when they went and got the dog out of her custody. That doesn't mean that the puppy wasn't beaten. You can watch it happen on stream. All that means is that the beatings didn't lead to any lasting noticeable injuries on the puppy when they got it. It still happened. It's not, you know, like the fucking Tooth Fairy make-believe. You can watch her hit the dog on stream. It clearly was beaten on stream. And just because she didn't break its legs or something like a Kit Kat bar doesn't mean that the beatings are all of a sudden excusable or, you know, not that big of a deal. It's still a big deal, and she still deserves these animal cruelty charges and a severe punishment. Her being banned on Twitch needs to be a permaban, 1000%. This is some downright deplorable evil shit here that she's done. Who knows how often she's beaten this puppy? All we know for sure is that it's happened at least once on stream, and that's one too many. That should never happen. That is awful. And she 1000% needs to be harshly punished with these animal cruelty charges. Anyway, I wanted to yap about this. That's really about it. See ya. I slid the brown note in there, so if you've caked your trousers, you're welcome. Welcome to the funeral for Destiny 2. It has just been announced by Bungie that active development is coming to a close, which means we've reached the end of the journey with Destiny 2, which I know might not come as a huge shock to a large number of people. The writing was kind of on the wall over the last many months, unfortunately, but for me personally, it's still sad to see. I have always said that Destiny has had the most potential out of any FPS we've ever seen. I have collectively spent a couple thousand hours in Destiny 2 across console and PC, and some of my most memorable gaming moments in general come from doing raids with my friends in this game. It is some of the best content you can find, and we always made a tradition out of trying to day one complete the new raid in Destiny 2 when we were blessed with them. So I really did love this game, and I always kept my fingers crossed, praying, salivating that they would start to reach the potential that so many of us knew that it had in the tank. There was so much juice in here, but they left a lot of piss in the balls. Unfortunately, throughout the Destiny 2 journey, there were a ton of stumbles from Bungie with the direction of things, and really lack of direction of things, and I abandoned Destiny 2 after Lightfall. My entire friend group did. Lightfall was just a dud. That was a flop. I mean, it was hard to go back to Destiny 2 after Lightfall. So I never even got to experience the final shape, which was really the climax to all of it. Even though I heard it was very good, which is nice, they kept going after the final shape. And as they continued to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel, they kept hemorrhaging players. And if you look at the Steam charts, you can see that decline steadily happening over many months. And now it was in a state where it really was just on life support. And it was pretty clear Bungie wasn't putting like a ton of resources into trying to like revamp Destiny 2 to get players to go back to it or get new players in. So it really isn't surprising that this is happening now. So let's go through the announcement, but also I want to mention something else since I brought up Steam charts. Bungie's other game, Marathon, is actually doing worse than Destiny 2 by player numbers, by raw player numbers on the Steam charts. So it makes me wonder, how is Bungie going to stay afloat in the meantime? Because it doesn't look like Marathon has a strong enough player base to support them. Like, they're right now teetering on fucking high guard numbers. Is that enough to allow Bungie to press forward? Like, maybe, and perhaps I'm overthinking it, maybe it really will just be Sony with more infusions of cash. Maybe they're able to just still run off of everything they built with Destiny. I don't know. But to no longer have Destiny in like an active development state, it will continue to hemorrhage. And then they only have Marathon, which is starting to tread water, like dangerously fast. So what keeps them going in the meantime while they work on their next project? I guess that remains to be seen. For almost 12 years, we have had the joy and honor to explore the Destiny universe with you all. Through all the ups and downs, surprises and triumphs, building Destiny alongside our players has been a monumental privilege. While our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, it has become clear that after the final shape, we have reached the time for our shared worlds and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2. As our focus turns toward a new beginning for Bungie, we will begin work incubating our next games. To that end, on June 9th, 2026, we will release the final live service content update for Destiny 2 to begin that new journey as a studio. Though active development may be concluding, we will ensure that Destiny 2 remains playable, just as the original Destiny is today. Many changes in this final update will aim to ensure that Destiny 2 is a welcoming place for players to return to. We're proud of Destiny 2, the places it took us, and the legacy it has created. Because of you all, our universe is vast, built on years of shared stories, adventures, and victories. From the Cosmodrome to the Pale Heart to the Lawless Frontier, we have forged lifelong memories and friendships with you all. We are incredibly grateful to everyone who made that journey with us. From the deepest part of our hearts, thank you, and we'll see you in the stars. A pretty nice send-off message, to be honest, and they're dropping a final content update to it in order to try and leave it on a high note, which I think is commendable. I also appreciate that they are going to keep it in a state where it is playable. That's extremely nice, especially when so many other games just close their doors when they're done with active development. So it's good to see them put resources into ensuring that players can always still go back to Destiny and experience it. But speaking of that, one thing you can't do in Destiny, and one thing they made a habit out of doing that I was very vocally against, is the rabid sunsetting of content. For example, you actually cannot play the original Destiny 2 campaign anymore, Red War. That's been gone for a long time. So when Destiny 2 launched, the campaign that you played, that I played when it first came out, has been inaccessible for many moons now. And there's plenty of other examples of content that has been sunset that you can't access as a player anymore. So a lot of like the shared stories and shared experiences that are mentioned here in Destiny are already just fucking relics of the past. They're already extinct. You can only see them in YouTube videos or when you close your eyes and have a wet dream. Which is just something I've always felt is sad when it comes to Destiny 2, because there's a lot of content that you played and maybe really liked that they eventually just poof out. But the biggest, saddest part of all of it is just, again, how much potential was left on the table with Destiny 2. Like, it did have a good run. Like, it had a very strong run. It's not like this was like some underrated hidden gem no one knew about. Destiny 2 had a really strong, very loyal, very dedicated player base. But I feel like along the way, they kept stumbling. And they kept going in directions that the community didn't want. And then they have to reel it back to try and win them over again. So it always became this like tug of war, this push and pull where, you know, you take 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and then you take 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back again. But there was always that hope that they would finally start to learn these lessons and be able to deliver on what Destiny 2 could offer, because there was always glimpses of it. There was some incredible content, amazing raids, amazing ideas, but then it would always be bogged down by the next thing they do that goes in the wrong direction. Like, there was just so much there, and it is sad to see that it won't be realized now with its final content update rolling out soon. But they are saying that they're currently working on their next projects, and maybe that's Destiny 3. I think that'd be extremely hype if it was, taking everything they've learned from Destiny and Destiny 2 and just blowing our ass out with Destiny 3. And that's not delusional hopium from hitting the crack pipe or anything. Like, to me, that feels realistic and feels like something that's kind of a no-brainer. Destiny is a juggernaut of a franchise. This had more staying power than 99% of games. They've made unfathomable amounts of money through Destiny, no doubt in my mind. But just through so much mismanagement over the years and being aimless numerous times, especially after the final shape apparently, which again, I'd already checked out after Lightfall because that was just so much of a blunder. But the point is, it wasn't because of lack of interest in Destiny, it was just they were making bad decisions with it and really kind of backed themselves into a corner with the final shape apparently. So I think Destiny 3 could very much be on the menu for something they serve up next. I feel like it should be. Because again, there is still so much potential there that they never fully tapped into and realized and really delivered upon. Again, there were only ever those like moments of them like starting to find their flow state, but they never stuck with it and stayed there. Like, there is nothing that is even like Destiny. There's not an alternative. Like, the Guardians here aren't going to go flock to another game now that's just like a Destiny replacement, because there isn't one. You can't find a Destiny 2 game that isn't just Destiny 2. It doesn't really exist. So to me, it makes sense to do a Destiny 3 because there is still very clearly a ton of players and a ton of demand for it. And you would now have a clean slate to do it right, with every lesson that has been learned over this decade and some change, however long it's been now, 12 years. You could really nail it this time. Well, hopefully, I don't know. That might be hopium speaking there. But actually making a Destiny 3, to me, just feels like the natural next step for Bungie. But I guess we'll see. Anyway, just wanted to yap about it a bit. That's it. Yep. Anybody remember Atari? You know, the gaming company that pretty much started video games as a mainstream hobby? Well, they are embarrassing now. I don't know if any of you ever keep up, because I know you don't hear about them, because they don't really do anything, and when they do, it's a catastrophic failure from all that I can find. But the most recent thing that they're peddling is an Atari hotel, which is apparently some kind of licensed partnership with some developers where they're going to be making a gamer hotel, and they used an AI video to showcase it. It is a blatant, obvious, fake thing that even as a concept piece, I think kind of falls flat on its tits, where it basically wants to be an all-encompassing gamer utopia where you have RGB rooms and you have an esports venue, a concert venue, a sports venue where you can bet on sports and watch the big games, and arcade cabinets out the wazoo. And they have this AI-generated video that probably took them like 45 seconds to make to show all of this. And my God, does it look like shit. Everything about it is terrible, but the most shameless part is they're using this as a pitch piece to try and get every Joe Schmo out there that happens to stumble across it to give them $500 as an investment so they can be an investor in Atari hotels, and they have it structured like a Kickstarter thing, where you can go all the way up to like $50,000, where you give them 50 grand and you get a brick. It's so fucking stupid. This company has to have one of the hardest fall-offs in corporate history. Like, at least Blockbuster, when it fell off, it had the dignity of dying with its boots on. Atari has just existed in a pitiful state for decades now. And despite not doing anything like meaningful for decades, their brand is still extraordinarily recognizable. That's how big they used to be. Yet they can't do anything good with it. So now they have this shit slapped on there for a hotel project that I think absolutely is dead on arrival and will crash and burn if they ever even get it off the ground. To be e-begging as Atari hotels is so laughable. Seeing the latest gaming scam, the Atari Hotel. They have Atari Hotels Official. We're building someone no one else has, the world's first Atari Hotel. This sounds familiar.
Something bold is rising in downtown Phoenix.
You love to hear the immediate AI voiceover. Very cool. That inspires confidence. Atari Hotels launches regulation offering inviting fans and community to own a piece of the future of hospitality. Well, maybe I was too quick to judge. Maybe this is awesome.
The world's first Atari Hotel.
Can't even say the name
for
right.
as little as $500. Set in the heart of the city's arts and entertainment district, where culture, nightlife, and creativity collide. Rising at the intersection of Roosevelt and Central, with a walk score of 95, this will become the pulse of downtown. Picture yourself on our rooftop pool deck, surrounded by music, energy, and skyline views. Step inside, every space tells a story. An immersive playground built for gamers, dreamers, and creators.
Nice. This is already looking really cool. You had a bunch of fucking mutants in here. Nothing tells me surefire success quite like having nothing to show besides AI-generated renders. Yes, I can't wait to book my $500 stay right now. Here's an article written about it. Let's see. Atari Hotels, a first-of-its-kind immersive entertainment and hospitality venue, today announced the launch of its Regulation A Tier 2 equity offering, giving fans, gamers, and community a chance to become true owners. Yep. Throw that in the wastebasket right away. That's a load of fucking barnacles. Scam! Scam! Atari Hotels recently acquired over 1 acre of land in Phoenix's Arts and Entertainment District, Roosevelt Row, seeking between $35 to $40 million to fund the development of its flagship location. How is it reimagining hospitality for modern gaming, pop culture, and sports? What is it doing? Adding RGB? Is that it? That's how they're reimagining it? Does it say?
An entertainment experience like no other. Your ultimate all-in-one destination.
How is it like no other? Tell me.
Next-gen suites, where comfort meets the latest in gaming and streaming tech. Catch every moment in our sportsbook and gaming lounge, where competition meets connection. From live concerts to esports battles, our 2,000
esports battles in Atari Hotels? How stupid do you think I am? Yeah, I'm sure.
1,000+ person event center is built for unforgettable nights. Here, nostalgia collides with the future. Classic
Damn, look at this arcade! Holy shit! They got like a whole closet full of cabinets. Reimagined fun.
Be a part of it with as little as $500. You can own a piece of Atari Hotels Phoenix. Atari Hotels. Play, stay, live the game. Brought to life by Intersection Development. With over $350 million of projects built right here in this neighborhood. Designed by Rack House, where architecture becomes emotion, and every space is an experience. Masterpiece designs by Top Rank Original. Design tough, built tough.
Design tough, built tough for tough gamers, god damn it. Wow. I'm investing, I have to. I'm losing money not investing in this, my god. It'll fuse nostalgia culture with futuristic technology, from high-tech guest rooms and creator studios to 2,000+ person esports and concert venues, sportsbook, and layers of immersive bars, restaurants, and shopping. With $14 million invested to date in the Phoenix project, Atari Hotels is inviting the public to join in on the next phase, a strategic decision to accelerate development while building a deeply engaged community of stakeholders. The Reg A offering provides participants with actual real estate ownership, including preferred returns and access to exclusive experiences starting at a minimum investment of $500. So they've invested $14 million and are looking for $35 to $40, even though this is backed by apparently fucking Goliath companies here like this, responsible for $300 million worth of developments across their resume, and the most they can fork over is $14 million here. Even if it hits the funding goal, let's say it goes like bananas, $80 million or whatever gets raised, how the fuck is it going to be anywhere near this? $80 million is not going to get you a facility like this with state-of-the-art reimagined technology rooms, a fucking immersive bars, restaurants, shopping, concert venue, and esports arena. That is so stupid. No way. No way! The second video goes over the scam in more details. This one? This is the same video. They just re-uploaded the same video. They did it twice. No, not that one. Oh, this one.
This AI-generated slop hotel is the epitome of marketing buzzwords, but it's apparently also really cheap to get in on. An official Atari hotel is popping up in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's pretty safe to assume the branding is completely meaningless at this point. Their juiced-up website is projecting that the cyberpunk-esque building will be done at the end of 2028, and that the whole shebang will be super walkable, convenient, and luxurious for gamers in particular on account of all the arcade cabinets and whatnot. The thing is, though, their whole promo shtick is essentially just begging you for investments on the project. In a move straight on Kickstarter.com, Atari Hotels is asking for a minimum $500 US in exchange for partial ownership of their not yet existent building, inclusion in the
But just like Akon City, it's coming. And look at how sad all of us were that we didn't get a chance to invest in Akon City. Now we can with Atari.
Hotel's loyalty program and a personalized printable PDF of a certificate of ownership. The promo video for the hotel literally ends with these, but hey, at least you're guaranteed a physical brick with your name on it if you fork over 50 grand on the thing.
And I mean, it's a team you can at least trust. They have a combined track record of creating and structuring over $500 million in real estate deals and $4 billion in successful tech exits, blending a strong financial track record with creative execution. With deep roots in Phoenix's Roosevelt Row, including the successful launch of 15 hospitality and residential projects, this team boasts a rich understanding of the local neighborhood, which is why they're so confident in it. They only invested $14 million of their own money, but want $40 million of your money. This is a grand slam waiting to happen. It's going to be like that Willy Wonka amusement park in Scotland. The Willy Wonka experience, yeah, for hotels. Unbelievable, man. That's crazy. That's so shameless. Well, it's coming pretty soon. It's starting in 2026. We'll get to see it from the ground up. I can't wait. The people who get nostalgic about Atari are all in their 50s and probably fall for AI, so who knows. I mean, that's still kind of a stretch, though. Like, I don't think people in their 50s are going to be like, $500? All right, I'll give it to Atari Hotels. This is exactly what I want. A place where I can watch esports events. Like, battles. The 50-year-old Atari fans are not going to care about the esports event space or anything like that. I don't know. I just don't think this has a chance of getting any real human beings to put money into it. You'd have to be a fucking beyond degenerate moron to throw $500 at this. Like, they couldn't even do the bare minimum of AI generating something that looks realistic. Like, just look at this. You can stop at any single frame, and it is just a disaster. Like, everyone's fucking face is melting. This guy's arm has fallen to the back rooms. Like, every single thing here. And they're all just like, these hills have eyes like mutants everywhere. They're not even using, like, the newest AI videos or anything. It's whatever the cheapest, fastest shit they could churn out was. And even just as a concept, the hotel has a terrible idea. Yeah, it doesn't even have a strip club. Well, not yet. That's if you donate the $50,000 to it, you get a brick and a lap dance. And a free 1-year subscription to Sohids. Would have been better in Vegas, like a gaming casino hotel. I guess. I don't think this is a hot take. I think this should be a pretty obvious take. But the thing is, if you're trying to market to gamers for a social experience, you're fucking stupid. Like, the last people that would want a gamer hotel would be gamers. They're not gonna go. If this actually gets built... Oh, yeah. I mean, you can just stop it right there if this actually gets built. It won't. Here's what I think. I think they will start construction on something. I think whatever they end up finishing construction on will not be Atari Hotel. It won't be a gamer hotel. I think it'll end up just being another one of their endless hospitality projects, and this was just going to be a fucking failed concept. They'll just pivot. Wait to hear about the Atari's next project, Atari Airline that takes you to Atari Cruise. Genius. I know you're making a joke, but it actually is incredible to me how Atari was so early to video games. They had such a stranglehold on it, and they floundered. And now, all they coast on is their once powerful name. despite not having any real, like, products or anything of value for the last, like, 2 decades, almost 3 decades, they still coast with this name because it's so recognizable, but they won't do the bare minimum of just trying to make good games or anything again. Like, they are just totally content to do nothing except try and cash in goodwill on the Atari name. It's crazy to me. Oh, it's the actual Atari business. As far as I can tell, this is the actual Atari business, yeah. This isn't like a knockoff or anything. This is an Atari partnership, from what I can tell, based on their website here. Though, I did just Google something that came up with a Reddit post from someone who's been looking into this. So, I'll take it with a grain of salt for now. According to this post, it's a hotel with the Atari license and branding, but totally unaffiliated with Atari. Which sounds very par for the course if that is true. Atari they probably got a cold call and an email like, hey, for like $50, can we, like, use the Atari name for a little something we're cooking up? And they're like, yes! Yes, God, please! Anything! Basically like Nickelodeon Hotel. They just use the brand and IPs, but it's actually run by Holiday Inn. God, the Nickelodeon Hotel's a classic. Oh, it's so good. These new-gen scammers don't know how it was back in the day. They actually had to work to scam people. All you need now is AI. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, like, you're making a joke, but it's actually super true. You actually had to try to scam back in the day. Now, AI does it for you. It's such a shame. There had to be some level of intelligence to a scam. No longer the case. Bernie Madoff with AI would have been unstoppable. Yeah, they would have never caught his ass if he had AI in his tool bag. About 5 months ago, I made a video covering the tragic story of a streamer named Raphael Gravin, known online as Jean Parmenov. He was a streamer who was, for a long period of time, physically and verbally abused by people he considered to be his closest friends for their Kick content. And they were in the middle of a Kick marathon where Jean was once again the punching bag and the spittoon for them to basically torture throughout the entire thing. And after enduring so much exploitation and abuse, he eventually passed away on stream during this marathon. It is a disturbing, horrible thing to watch, and it is an extremely sad story. Obviously, people were very upset, rightfully outraged about the whole thing, so there were calls for action to try and get some justice here, get these Kick streamers held accountable for their potential role in his passing. And I wanted to give you a little update because it's been a while. This had been a lengthy investigation that is still ongoing, but 2 streamers here involved in this have been taken into custody. Owen Sinanzin. Oh, I sound like a fucking idiot. Wow, I can't read that last name at all. I sound like I'm malfunctioning, like someone's got me on the DJ's turntable and he keeps remixing it. Owen and Safine Hamadi. They were taken into custody yesterday as part of a months-long probe into an on-camera death broadcast via the Kick platform. Now, many of you might remember the initial response from those involved in this marathon of abuse was to basically deny all responsibility, saying things like, his health was just bad, he liked to smoke and stuff, really bad stuff. Sucks to see him gone. He was like my best bud, my best pal. I love that guy, man. I'm real torn up over it. I can't believe it. But I had nothing to do with it. You guys are fucking stupid for thinking I had something to do with it. In fact, you're the monster for even thinking that me on camera beating him and, strangling him and all this had anything to do with his passing or anything at all. Ridiculous. That's been their whole strategy, is to just deny it and pretend like they're best friends and they're still so torn up that he's gone. Can't believe that this happened. It boiled down to them just playing a sad song on the world's smallest violin about how everyone's being so mean to them without stopping to consider their feelings about their friend dying during the stream of them abusing him for many days. And then, at one point, if I remember correctly, they even threatened legal action for people saying some defamatory things or whatever. It was a fucking mess. It was embarrassing and cruel. But it looks like French authorities are not buying the crocodile tears here from those kick streamers. They're being held on charges including assault, incitement to hatred, abuse of a vulnerable person, and recording and broadcasting violent images, according to the chief prosecutor. Now, you'll also notice in the paragraph above that an autopsy revealed that the death was not caused by intervention by a third party. This means that Raphael Gravin did not pass away due to physical trauma or any injuries that he suffered at the hands of the streamers or anything like that. It was due to other medical conditions. So, you'll notice that they're not pursuing charges of, like, homicide. They're not trying to get these big slam dunk charges of these streamers killed this man on stream. Instead, they're going for what is clearly evident in all of the footage of their streams together. Physical abuse, assault, stuff like that. Which I think is pretty obvious. You can watch them do that. That is the bulk of their content. They were abusing this man. They were exploiting this man. And they were recording all of it for their content, and they were making money off it. It was their careers built off the back of their abuse of this man. It is fucking sickening stuff. So even though he may not have passed away as a result of all of the abuse he suffered from them, it certainly didn't help his underlying medical conditions in any way, shape, or form. We also have that text message that Raphael Gravin sent to his mother, talking about like how awful it is, the abuse that he suffered, that kind of thing. So they certainly weren't exactly angels here, and they didn't do anything to help him in any way. Even if they weren't directly responsible for his death, I definitely think it didn't help things at the very least. And these charges, I think, are probably pretty strong. I would imagine they stick because you can watch all of them yourself. Like, it's all just right there at your fingertips. It would be shocking if they don't end up behind bars. If this doesn't lead to them going to the slammer, I really would be stunned. This had been many months investigating. There is hours and hours and hours worth of content showcasing their abuse of this individual. I feel like it's an extremely strong case, but we'll see how it all shakes out. If you remember, they were actually taken in by authorities a while back, but they were released. This, I do think, is different, especially after months of investigating, so I'm pretty confident that there will be at least some level of justice here for everything they did. What that looks like with time in jail, I don't know. I guess we'll see, but this should be a very severe punishment. What they did to that guy is beyond fucked up, and his passing is extremely sad. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you an update here to the story, and really, that's about it. So yeah, glaze is a powerful thing, and it spreads like a virus. To some people, it's like a drug almost, where they can't help but just spread it. And what you find to be glaze-worthy, I might not, and vice versa, but I'm something of a glaze epidemiologist, where once something starts to spiral, I start to study and try and sink my teeth into it to find out, does it deserve this level of adoration? And such is the case with an anime that just premiered called Sentenced to be a Hero. I'd never heard of it before, but seemingly out of nowhere, tons of people gushing grannies over it. I've even seen some people say that this will be the biggest anime of the season, which is big boy words. That's beefier than this fart. Don't know if the mic picked it up. That one was just a bunch of air. The hair was a silencer on that one. Not a lot of bass there. Point is, this is a stacked season for anime. Some huge names are coming in for a new season that people are extremely excited for. But right now, all eyes and all attention are on Sentenced to be a Hero. Now, granted, it has started before a lot of the other ones, but it has a huge 9.1 rating as of me making this video, so of course, I had to check it out. Does it live up to the hype? Now, there's only one episode of it right now, but it's an hour long, which I really appreciate it. I think that's always pretty special. To me, that shows like a level of confidence in the show that they believe it's going to be a spectacle, and we're coming out, you know, the gloves are off. So it's 1 hour premiere here for Sentenced to be a Hero. And let me tell you, wow, is it impressive. Like, the visuals in this are incredible. I saw that was a lot of people's, like, big point is how great the action is in Sentenced to be a Hero. They weren't lying. It is constant action throughout this hour, and it is animated beautifully. It goes fucking hard, and I love that our main character, Xylo's power, isn't the standard, like super strength kind of thing. He uses sacred seals. One of them lets him fly, and the main one you see him using for combat is he imbues swords with fire and light, which cause them to explode. So he throws swords that blow up on impact, and he uses it to kill demons. In this show, they're called fairies. They're controlled by a demon lord. It is extremely hype. This premiere felt like I was watching the finale to an anime season. Like, this was almost anime movie level quality for this hour. I was very, very, very impressed. They were definitely right when it came to the hype around the action and the animation. It was extremely good. Now, I also was pretty interested in the world they build here. Hero shows are a dime a dozen. That's like the main thing. Even outside of anime, everything is geared towards like hero type content. So immediately the name Sentenced to be a Hero, I thought, okay, it'll probably be a pretty generic hero anime, which is fine as long as, it's cool. They do give it a different spin. So in this universe, being a hero is like the worst thing you can be. It's a crime. Rather, it is like the biggest possible punishment for criminals. When people see a hero like Xylo, they're not excited, they're angry, they're upset, because they know that the reason he is a hero is because he was sentenced to be one, meaning he is the lowest of the low. He is a piece of shit that took a shit. If you are punished, like the worst imaginable punishment in that world is being sentenced to be a hero, which gives you basically immortality, where even if you do die on hero duty, they drag your soul back from hell in order to make you be a hero again. So you are constantly being fundamentally tortured on the front lines fighting for the rest of the people around you. So it's not like a noble position, it's like the worst position, which is an interesting spin on it. And also, they introduce goddesses, which are like these weapons that are utilized by the knights. However, in episode 1, our hero, Xylo, makes a pact with a goddess, and they are fundamentally like the most powerful weapon against the fairies / the demon lords. It's a really interesting spin off of tropes in the anime hero genre, and I'm very curious to see where it goes. That being said, it's very simple so far. We're only an hour in. Our main character, he was betrayed, and his crime seems to have all been a setup, and now he's forced to endure this eternal punishment for it, where he is viewed as like the ultimate evil. And of course, there's other heroes around him, and now he has a new goddess that he has made a pact with, and they will be fighting fairies and demon lords, presumably for the rest of the season. So while it's not extremely deep right now, I could never expect it to be after just one episode, 1 hour long, but it is enough to get me hooked on the show. And I want to see it through for sure. Like, the action was incredible, the animation was amazing, and I do think the narrative is interesting enough and different enough from the others in there that it feels fresh. Overall, I really liked it. I definitely understand why there's so much hype around it now. I think it lives up to the hype for sure. Now, I do want to express there is only 1 episode out, so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that this is like the best episode in the season. Like, maybe from here, the animation takes a fucking nosedive. We've seen it before. Ninja Kamui, Lord help us. Anyone that watched that train wreck unfold. The first 3 episodes, fucking masterpiece. And then it just eats the fattest ass you've ever seen. CGI out the wazoo, becomes like the worst mecha anime ever. They even had like AI images in it at one point. It was a fucking disaster. But it had 3 amazing, beautiful episodes in the beginning. Huge bait and switch with Ninja Kamui. I'm praying that's not the case with Sentenced to be a Hero. I'm pretty optimistic it won't go down that path, but I wanted to at least make a mention that it's something kind of in the back of my head here, since this was such an explosive, beautiful start to it. I don't know how many episodes are going to be in this season, but I wonder if they can keep up that level of quality throughout the entire series here. I feel like they probably can. I think they probably wouldn't have done an hour blowing their load right away if the rest is just trash. Like, if the rest is dog shit, I don't think they would just dump an hour immediately. They'd probably want to spread that out as much as they could. So I'm pretty confident that it's going to stay very high quality throughout. This was a real pleasant surprise of a show here, and another anime that I'll be watching this season. It really is crazy how stacked this season is. There are so many bangers, and now, from out of nowhere, from the top turnbuckle, Sentenced to Be a Hero comes in and just fucking lat spreads. It was a really good premiere, and while we're on the subject of anime, I started Orb on the Movements of the Earth very recently. Well, I started a while ago, but then tons of other stuff came out, so I ended up watching that, fell to the back burner. Started again recently. What an incredible show. I haven't finished it yet, but man, what an amazing show. And then, I heard that the creator of Orb made 100 Meters. Buddy mine Dankin hasn't stopped going ballistic over how good 100 Meters is, which is an anime movie that's on Netflix right now. So I also just watched that. What a fucking amazing movie. I've said this for the last, 3-4 years maybe. We are actually in the golden age of anime animation, in terms of how incredible these shows look. I know plenty of people will split hairs over, the quality of anime that's coming out, whatever. I'm not here to have that debate. I'm talking purely from the standpoint of animation. It is breathtaking how incredible the shows and movies are that are coming out. Visual masterpieces. The spectacle is unbelievable. In 100 Meters, there is a 3.5-ish minute continuous shot that is painstakingly rotoscoped frame by frame. I looked it up. It's 9,800 or something drawings just for that one section. It is a clear labor of love, and the passion is oozing out from that film every second. I was really, really, really impressed with 100 Meters. And I'm really enjoying Orb, so I'm definitely going to be finishing Orb as well. Big fan of that creator now. Back-to-back bangers I really liked from them. I just wanted to briefly mention that here since I'm just yapping about anime. Incredible stuff is coming out right now. And like I said, this season is so fucking stacked. Also, Fate, the new Fate series just started. It just had its premiere. I haven't seen that one yet, but apparently it's really good. So anyway, yeah, back to the whole point of the video. Sentenced to Be a Hero. Great start. Excited to see more. That's really about it. It lived up to the hype. That's about it. See ya. I got no silly intro for you today. What this lady's done just makes me furious, so I want to yap about it. Krishan Rock. Maybe you've heard her name, maybe you haven't. I'm pretty confident you've at least seen a couple of clips of hers because she has been addicted to social media attention for a while. So she constantly pops up on popular streamers' streams to try and leech a little bit of clout for herself. Personally, I've always found her to be like a vibe Dementor on stream where she just sucks out all the fun and all the life, leaving only misery in its wake. But that's not the biggest deal in the world. There's plenty of people that are, vibe terrorists that just aren't super entertaining to watch. That's not like a crime. But what is a crime, at least should be, is the way that she handled her pregnancy. Krishan Rock loved to party. I say loved like it's past tense. I'm sure she still currently does. But while she was pregnant, she still didn't let that stop her. It wasn't an obstacle. She didn't pump the brakes because she's pregnant. She still went hog wild partying, drinking and smoking while pregnant. And this was shown multiple times on camera, just shamelessly drinking and smoking while pregnant, which everybody knows is really bad for the baby.
Because we all was drinking, even you, with the baby and stuff. Why are you lying?
Really been flued out in real life though. Ladies, one more time.
Get yourself together.
Where the bottle at?
Oh my gosh.
Drink it.
She asked for another bottle. I'm just
You can't no liquor? Yes, I can. I can abort the child tomorrow. It won't hurt me.
No,
He shut the door
you
because
can't
it's
have
cold.
no fucking liquor.
When they were here last time, him and Krishan was pregnant. Y'all were doing all that smoking and drinking here in the thing.
This is just one short compilation, but a lot of these clips go on longer of her drinking even more. And this is only what's been caught on camera. I can only imagine how often off camera she was also smoking and drinking. It's fucking terrible. And it's not like she didn't know. She even had that clip in there where she's like, it's alright, I can just abort the child, not gonna hurt me. Fucking evil mindset. Like, what? She couldn't stop herself from smoking and drinking while pregnant. She did have the child, and this September he will be 3 years old. He still cannot walk or talk, and it seems like also has a hard time just sitting up on his own without assistance supporting him. It is heartbreaking. It is actually heartbreaking. And I don't know why what she's done isn't just full-blown child abuse. Like, I don't know how that's not just a crime. Like, it's all just right out there in the open. Like, it's not a secret. People extremely close to her have just point-blank said that she has smoked and drank throughout her pregnancy. They've said it a couple of times. It's just so fucking unhinged. And now, she just did an interview, and it's the reason why I'm even yapping about it outside of just streams where I've talked about it loosely. She did an interview where she's now denying that her child has a disability and says that, you know, the doctors are wrong, the doctors don't know, which to me says that she's not even willing to get this child the assistance that he is likely going to need going forward.
And if it's anything I could do, help, I'm here. The part that really messed with me is that Blueface doesn't seem active in the child's life because of his disability. Hold on. I feel like that's what triggered me, and my anger overpowered my message. You're in the right now, and I'm here to support and congratulate you overly. So I said my son does not have a disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he... Right. But it's like, don't tell me. I ain't say none of that.
For context here, she was reading some messages about someone who they had some drama, and this individual said that, you know, the thing that messed them up most was, you know, Blueface not being as active in the child's life because of the child's disability. That was the claim that was made there. She then snapped back saying that her son does not have a disability. He's developing at his own pace. Then, in a minute here, I'll show you the clip where she starts making a mention of, like, doctors, like how you can't believe a doctor when they're speaking ill on your child, that kind of thing. Now, of course, I'm not a doctor, but for reference, most babies will begin the walking and talking process, getting, like, a word out from, like, 12 up to, like, 18 months. That's when they'll start to hit these milestones. Typically, that's like the normal range. She is right, though, every child is different, so some take a little bit longer. However, it has been over 2 years. It's been, 27 months, and her son still is doing none of that, and also seemingly still having a hard time sitting up on their own, too. That does seem like there may be a disability there, and the fact that she references a doctor speaking ill on her child makes me believe that when a doctor was informing her that this might be the result of a disability, she took it as an insult, and that this doctor is just some kind of evil demon that's insulting her baby, and now she's, like, refusing to acknowledge it, which I think is just extremely detrimental for the child, because if the child does have a disability, the child is going to need some extra assistance from doctors, from other people. And if she's going to deny the child those resources, that's even worse for the kid. Just because she refuses to say it doesn't mean that it might not be true.
It's not even just that. It's like, say if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro. Yeah. Anybody. If they're guessing or whatever, no. The word said what the word said. God said what the God says. I don't have to accept what you... So it's really like me, like, protecting a revelation that I heard from the Lord over my son. Yeah. And then it's like redirecting that energy back to that mouth, that tongue, that powerful tongue. Who said I had it? Who said it?
Now, recently, Krishan Rock made a big Christianity push where she's accepting the word of God and taking the Lord as her savior, which I always applaud people for doing if it's coming from a genuine place. Unfortunately, in the modern day, there are some absolute vile people that use Christianity as like this get out of jail card where it's, you know, used as a tool to avoid any level of accountability and responsibility. Like, nope, I'm completely clean, so all of the terrible, heinous actions I've done in my past no longer exist, and you can't use them against me in any way, shape, or form because now I'm a Christian, so we have to forget about all of that, and you're a bad person if you bring them up now. And I really hate that mentality. And I hate to say it, but I do get that same sense from Krishan Rock, where she's using it as a way of just being like, hey, you all have to forgive me for all of this shit that I've done. And a lot of it you've watched, especially like with the pregnancy. And I don't think I've seen her take any level of like self-reflection or accountability for the terrible fucking way that she handled her pregnancy with the smoking and drinking and the impact that it may have had on her child's life. Like, speaking of the word of God, Krishan, what do you think God would say to something like this?
Get yourself together.
Where the bottle at?
Oh my gosh.
Drink it.
She asked for another bottle. I'm just
You can't have no liquor.
Yes, I can. I can abort the child tomorrow. It won't hurt me.
No,
He shut the door
you
because
can't
it's
have no
cold.
Complete callousness, uncaring if the baby lives or dies, even saying that she would get an abortion and it wouldn't affect her. There's also another clip where she's 20 weeks pregnant, talking to a doctor and asks if it's too late to get an abortion. It seems like she's solely driven by her own self-interest. She didn't want to stop partying and drinking and smoking, and so she didn't, even while pregnant. And unless I've missed it, she's never talked about this, or made any kind of big, like, huge apology about the error and misdeeds of how she handled her pregnancy or anything. And also, I think she's still the exact same Krishan Rock now as she always has been. Throughout this entire podcast, she goes on and on and on, just regurgitating this notion that she is done with drama. Drama is in her past, now it's all about her future. However, she spends the whole podcast reading drama text messages and talking over the hosts in order to keep playing around in the drama cesspool, like the entire time, except now she's using Christianity as her shield, as a way of winning these arguments in the drama. Like, well, this is what this guy said, but the Word of God says this, so he's definitely wrong for it, and what he said about me is unacceptable because now, fully Christian, all of that. She is still 100% participating in drama this entire podcast episode, while pretending that she's not, and that she's left all of that behind and has changed.
Then you let God vindicate on your behalf.
Well, like you said,
it's going to be a day where, like, I can't wait when my son start walking and talking. I'm going to just be like, exactly.
Like I told y'all.
I told y'all. He told y'all. Shoot, I was just relaying the message. It's like one of those.
I truly hope her son does start walking and talking soon. I'm really wishing the absolute best for that kid, but I do not think that this is a mother fit to raise a child, especially based on her statements in this interview here, where it seems like she's no longer even going to listen to doctors in regards to the potential disability that her child may have. Like, that just sets this kid up for a really rough future. I'm really, really hoping this child gets the care that he needs. I am not convinced that Krishan Rock is a good mother to this child at all. It still, to me, feels as though she's solely interested in her own career as opposed to trying to help her son to the best of her abilities. And it seems like she's already toying with the idea of depriving him of this medical care that he may require in the future. That's the impression I get from this interview. I really do not like this lady at all. I just don't. I hate what she did during pregnancy, knowing full well how horrible that is to the development of a child. It's not like she was, oblivious to that fact. She wanted to keep drinking and smoking, and in order to do that, she even said, look, I'll just get an abortion. It won't affect me at all, and I'll just keep drinking and smoking. She didn't get the abortion, but she just kept drinking and smoking. And now her child is developing at an abnormal pace, and is seemingly unwilling to listen to doctors about it. And I really, really, really think that what she did during pregnancy is just pretty unforgivable, to be honest. And so I wanted to yap about it. That's really about it. So yeah. Good morning. I hope you're ready to put a frown on that face. If you happen to be smiling right now, get that off of there. Take it down. And I mean that because what we're going to be talking about today is very infuriating to any sane person out there. And it's something that needs to be talked about and is part of a phenomenon that's becoming all too common, which is child sexual abuse crimes no longer being taken seriously in our justice system. Minimal punishment to the demons that commit these crimes. Behold, Exhibit A. Robert Morris has just been released from jail after spending only 6 months in there. Robert Morris is a former Texas megachurch pastor, also former spiritual advisor to Donald Trump, who last year pled guilty to 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child. In the 1980s, Morris was molesting a 12-year-old girl multiple times, numerous instances of him molesting a child. People in the church also lied and covered for him, even attacking the victim. And eventually, last year, it was all completely confirmed that he had committed these acts. He had even pled guilty to these acts. And the justice that was dispensed, a measly 6 months in jail for Robert Morris. And now he has 9.5 years of probation, which he will spend living in his luxurious lake house property. He also paid, I think it was $270,000 in restitution, which is peanuts to this guy's net worth. And he has to register as a sex offender, which, judging from the response from people, probably won't have any effect on him. People are like, well, he did the time. He's a changed man now. He's learned from his mistakes. We should welcome him back with open arms. Which I think is unhinged lunacy. But if this current administration has taught us anything, it's that the sex offender label is a protected status in the government. Fucking Donald Trump appointed Lawrence Taylor on his Council of Sports and Nutrition. Lawrence Taylor is literally a level 1 sex offender, actively registered sex offender, and Donald Trump gave him a position that supposedly works with children here on this council. And of course, the government doing everything imaginable to protect those named in the Epstein files. It's pretty clear that the sex offender label doesn't actually matter to a lot of people in positions of power, and even to just normal community members, it seems like they're more than willing to just say, welcome back, Robert Morris, we're glad to have you home. It's just complete fucking insanity. I'm just gonna be honest with you, puppet pals, and again, maybe I'm just fucking boofing crazy pills here. It just doesn't smell like justice to me. That Robert Morris only spends 6 months behind bars in the slammer, even though he has been found guilty to molesting a 12-year-old girl multiple times, numerous instances of it, only spending 6 months in jail, and then getting to just live it up in his $1 million lake house property, and I imagine will be landing lucrative gigs in the future, even despite all of these known facts about him being a heinous, unforgivable demon. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a phenomenon that I think is becoming even more common. Another thing that I read today is that one of the January 6th rioters who's been pardoned by Trump turns out to have been a huge pedophile. There's actually been a couple of them, but the most recent one is Daniel Tochi. He was just sentenced to 4 years in jail for having more than 100,000 child sexual abuse images and videos on his devices. Authorities also found other disturbing things in there, like apparently he had saved videos of like a cat being thrown in blenders, stuff like that. But what I don't understand is, why is his sentencing so light? Why is he only getting 4 years in jail? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. He had over 100,000 images and videos of child sexual abuse material. Why is he not being behind bars for the rest of his life? This is absurd. This is just downright preposterous. 4 years in jail for that? That's 4 years in jail is like the same sentence they give to someone who fucking had an ounce of weed in their car or something. Like, this is completely inexcusable. And just even reading about this case makes me feel like Ed from the episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy when he had a fucking rock in his shoe, where he's just really mad. Like, that's how I felt reading this whole fucking thing. So apparently, Tochi's attorney had argued for dismissal because the evidence of all of this child sexual abuse material was gathered from the case for which Daniel Tochi was pardoned by Trump. The case against Mr. Tochi must be dismissed because the entirety of the evidence stems from a warrant that, according to President Trump, should never have issued. President Trump recognized the ongoing nature of the injustice against Mr. Tochi as the investigation took place over the course of 4 years, and the instant case is still being prosecuted. There aren't enough words that exist to describe this kind of evil, ghoulish behavior. So fundamentally, his argument boils down to, this case is unjust because you gathered all of this evidence of my client having over 100,000 images and videos of child sexual abuse material during an investigation from a case that President Trump has pardoned him for. Thus, all of this evidence is moot. Yes, all of it exists, but you didn't collect it appropriately. Thus, my client should be a free man, despite very clearly being a deranged pedophile. And they're falling onto, like, President Trump as, like, a means of shielding them. Like, President Trump said that this warrant should have never happened in the first place, thus you would have never even known that my client was a pedophile, so we have to dismiss this. That was what he tried to argue. Unsuccessfully, for the most part, though, even though they did lose that case, his client's only getting 4 years despite having over 100,000 images and videos of child sexual abuse material. That's not justice. He should be in jail for life. He is a fucking danger to a civilized society. This is a monster. Why in the fuck is he only getting 4 years in jail? It's just crazy that crimes like this aren't being taken seriously. Child sexual abuse crimes are not being taken seriously by the justice system anymore. And like I said, these aren't just some like fringe rare cases. It feels like it's only getting more and more frequent. I could go on and on. Another really recent example, a case that actually happened here in Florida, in Tallahassee. A Judge Tiffany Baker Carper allowed a maniac by the name of Daniel Spencer, who had just been convicted a month earlier of trying to meet up with a 15-year-old minor for sex. He was caught in a sting operation. And while awaiting sentencing, the judge allowed him out on bond, and while out on bond, he murdered his stepdaughter, Melissa Missy Mogul. The judge stated he's been out for an entire year, as far as I saw, with no violations. I didn't see any criminal history regarding violence. The only criminal history I saw was relating to drug offenses. When I looked, Madam Prosecutor, you're free to enlighten the court if I've missed something. This article then went on to say that it's unclear from the record whether the judge or prosecutor were aware at the time that the Tallahassee Police Department, in consultation with the state attorney's office and the DCF, had investigated allegations that Daniel Spencer molested Missy. Both agencies dropped their investigations without taking action because of a lack of probable cause. So it seems like there were allegations there that weren't pursued, and the judge decided that while awaiting sentencing, even though he had been convicted of trying to meet up with a minor for sex, that he'd posed no violent danger, so allowed him free on bond. And while out, he murdered his stepdaughter. Now, let me ask you something, and I want you to put on your thinking caps here for this thought experiment, this exercise. What fucking sense does that make? He is convicted of trying to meet a child for sex. How is he not a danger? Like, maybe he doesn't have a violent criminal history, but he is convicted of trying to meet a child for sex. Why let him out on bond in the first place? Especially, he knows he's going to get sentenced. I would imagine most people would have the thought that would cross their noodle like, well, maybe he's going to go out there and do something. He knows he's going to the big house, so maybe there's a chance he would just go out there and do something drastic in the meantime while he's still breathing the free air. I don't know how that scenario wouldn't be a consideration for the judge here. It doesn't make any sense to me. He is convicted of trying to meet a child for sex. What sense does it make to release him out into the public, into the community, while awaiting the sentencing? All that does is put that madman back out there in the meantime where there could be more victims. It really is just outrageous. The judge seemingly didn't think that this guy, this pedophile, was dangerous. His crime wasn't really violent. He was just trying to meet a child for sex. So I don't see like a criminal history of violence. So we'll go ahead and let him out on bond. I won't revoke that. That's fine. And naturally, this caused a big uproar here in Florida, as it rightfully should. I think this is completely inexcusable. If the judge had ruled that he must stay in custody during the sentencing as they await for it, then that 5-year-old child would still be alive. Most likely. I think that is very true. And I do think judges need to be held accountable for these kind of fucking baffling decisions that they make. Judges should not be above responsibility and accountability. And this was such a big deal here in Florida that a new piece of legislation was put into effect called Missy's Law, named after the victim in this case, with the stated intention of requiring judges to remand defendants to custody immediately after their conviction of certain dangerous crimes rather than allow them to remain free pending sentences, which happened in the case of Missy's stepfather. So basically, when someone is convicted of a dangerous crime, which I believe, and I think most sane, sensible people would also agree with, that Daniel Spencer's initial conviction of trying to meet up with a 15-year-old child for sex makes him a dangerous criminal. He should not have had the opportunity to be out again in the meantime, in between the conviction and the sentencing. I think that 100% should constitute staying in custody. Happy New Year, 2025 going to the rear view as we go headstrong into 2026 with a smile on our face. As of me making this video right now, we're about like an hour out from the New Year's Eve ball dropping in New York. I don't know why I said an hour out. I even looked at the time. It's 9:30 p.m. as of me making this, so pretty substantial rounding down. Doesn't matter. What does matter, though, is that ball, that sacred orb, convinces people to literally shed themselves of basic dignity and human instinct in order to wait for hours upon hours in the cold temperatures in New York, unmoving, unwavering, just so they can watch it happen in person. And the meta has been for a while, if you attend one of these, you wear a diaper, so that way you don't have to like lose your spot to go find a bathroom to relieve yourself. You just piss and shit yourself right then and there. So every year you see the horror stories and the aftermath about people that literally just fucking bowels explode, asshole prolapses, pee all over the place, all just so they can watch the ball drop. And I had a few friends of mine send me a video, I guess is floating around a lot today, about a guy who got interviewed on his strategy for handling nature's call, and he uses pads. This is actually from a couple years ago, but the meta hasn't changed, and I'll show you a clip from today.
You leave, and you have to use the bathroom or even get water.
You lose your spot.
That's the problem.
So what do you do with the bathroom?
What do you do? I'll show you exactly what you do. Okay? Hold on, let me see. Let me try and find this here.
Okay, now I
see these pads?
Yeah.
You have to pee in these pads. Let me show you.
But you're a man. What do you do if you're a woman?
Say, everybody's equal. Nobody's any different.
What an inspirational, uplifting message. We're all equal. Nobody's different. If you're there in New York for the ball drop, you're surrounded by piss. It's a goddamn flood of it, and everyone's doing it. You're not cool unless you pee your pants. Men, women, they're all doing it. It's just a matter of what apparatus they're using to catch it. This guy here's got his go-go gadget period pads out for his urine. Lord help us if he has to take a shit. You know that's probably going straight onto the ground, because I don't think the pads are built to handle that kind of heft. But, you know, this is pretty standard procedure for New Year's Eve in New York. For some reason, people have convinced themselves that seeing that ball drop is the most important thing for the start of the upcoming year. So they're willing to usher in the next year with piss and poop in their pants. It blows my mind. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. That is miserable. Not only are you pissing and shitting yourself, but everyone around you is too. You are in a sea of filth. It is a cesspool. You are basically in a communal latrine, diving in there just to watch 60 seconds of a ball dropping in front of you. Now, of course, there's concerts and stuff, but you're probably not seeing those if you're like that guy at the front of the line, you know, barging his way to the very front so he can look at the ball like he's hypnotized by it.
Oh, you just put it in your underwear?
That's exactly what you do.
And then you switch and you have like bags, like
It stays there. It stays there.
This will hold for the whole day?
You make it will stay for the whole day, yeah.
Oh, this is what you do?
I will be wearing... See?
Diaper.
See?
What?
I'm wearing diaper.
The diapers?
See? This is what...
This is not a diaper though. This will not
It works
hold.
too. It works too.
It works?
You're a lady. You should know it
No,
works.
it's not working.
It works.
It's not. I wouldn't try it.
Dude's out here driving the hard sale like he's trying to get a used car off the lot. It's like he's advertising these pads that he's trying to sell them to everyone there. But most people are going by the standard meta protocol of using a diaper, which is very common for this. I just find that so revolting. I think it's so beyond gross and just like embarrassing. I can't imagine a worse way of starting a year, quite like being surrounded by piss and shit while also sporting my own underpants full of piss and shit. And even, let's say, in a fantasy scenario, ideal circumstances, no bubble guts, you've been fasting for 48 hours prepping for this, you haven't drank a sip of liquid for the last 24, so you are able to go through this entire thing, this wait, as well as watching the ball drop without soiling yourself at all. It's still terrible because everyone around you has. The guy next to you's probably got mud pies in his britches. Person in front of you probably stinking up the place with the fumes from the lemonade they're cooking up in their trousers. Like, it's terrible. I'd be starting the new year in the worst possible mood, putting myself through that torture. I do not get it. I never have. I never will. And like I said, that's a couple years old. You can see in the background, it's talking about bringing in a great 2024. But nothing's changed. This is still very normal for New Year's Eve, it seems. So here's a clip from today.
Are you coming prepared by most people wearing diapers here?
Yeah, I wear a diaper. I'm wearing a diaper now.
Okay, do you have extra just in case anybody needs one?
Yes, I got this. A diaper.
Awesome. So you're able to bless somebody if they did not wear one?
I bless them not peeing, especially in front of me, you know.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming out, guys. Hope you guys have a great New Year. Can I get you guys to say Happy New Year?
I gotta tell you, no one is happier about New Year's Eve celebrations than Depends. The executives at the top of the food chain of that company must just be the happiest people on the planet every time New Year's Eve rolls around. Sales skyrocket. But anyway, I mean, if people enjoy it, all power to them, I suppose. I don't personally understand it, but if you're out there right now, piss, poop all over the place, waiting for that ball to drop, Godspeed to you. I hope it's a cherished memory going forward. Hopefully it'll kick off your 2026 in the best possible way. For me personally, I think it's a lot more convenient just to hang around friends and family to start the year off right, being around people you know and love that aren't soiling themselves around you, attacking your senses with their waste fumes. But anyway, 2026, right around the corner. That's about it. So, yeah. You saw the CS2 pro who just got banned for 10 years for sucker punching. I did see that clip. I didn't know this. I don't know who this player is, though. I don't think he's like an actual big name player, because this wasn't a huge event that he was at, but this shit was diabolical. That should be a ban for life. I saw this earlier.
Legendenlobby!
Die stellen sich auf.
What a bitch.
Nee, geh ruhig mal runter. Eins.
So he's been banned for 10 years, this guy. Fucking loser. Why did he punch him? Well, that was the winning team, so it's because they didn't win, would be my guess. COD crash outs go way harder than this. Only kinda. I mean, it's rare to see just a full-blown sucker punch.
Die stellen sich auf.
Usually the rage is like screaming and then squeaking.
Nee.
Also, this guy ate it like a champ, by the way. Man's got pillow hands. This dude had no problem. He's just kind of confused, like, are you serious? Bitch? This is gaming's Will Smith slap moment. Yeah, I suppose so. Very, very true. What was the prize of this tournament? I have no idea. Like I said, I don't think this is a big tournament, so I couldn't tell you. I haven't heard of this one before. What would you do if he did that to you? Like, if I was up on stage, won a tournament, and then the opponent sucker punched me? It depends. Depends on how hard it was. Like, if it hurt me a lot, I'd probably just try and play it off like it wasn't that big of a deal. But if it was really weak, I'd go full, like, SGA on it and try and sell the shit out of it. Like, I'd start flopping all over the place. I'd act like I just got hit by, like, white phosphorus or something. Really sell it. And then, I don't know where I'd go from there, but I think that'd be so fucking cool. It'd be some WWE shit. I'd sell that like a stunner. But if it actually hurt me, I'd try and do my best not to cry. Some lawsuit maxing? Yeah, I guess basically, yeah. I'd sell the shit out of that. You know the robot that tripped and shattered during the robot marathon? I did not. I saw a robot won a marathon, though. He literally exploded. Dude had to be stretchered off. Let me see. I'm assuming it'll come up if I just do this. No, this is the thing I saw. This guy won.
It starts
He's
like
fucking
any
zooming.
other race, but this one is different. 12,000 runners are competing against more than 100 humanoid robots in a 21-kilometer half marathon.
Oh, is it this? Wait, is it this? Do one of these robots like trip and blow up? It is this. Oh, okay.
Beijing. This is the second competition of its kind, and expectations were high. 40% of the robots are moving autonomously, using their own sensors, algorithms, and artificial intelligence to navigate the course and maintain pace.
They're fast.
Spectators weren't disappointed.
I was shocked. I never expected those robots could run and walk like humans.
China's
Where's the one
robotic
that?
industry
Oh, is this the one
has
that fell?
developed fast.
It's a major step up from the inaugural race in 2025, when most
Oh man, yeah, I remember we watched this one.
robots stumbled and overheated. Only 6 of the 21 finished. The fastest took 2 hours and 40 minutes, twice as long as the winning human time.
For the companies behind them, this isn't just about speed, it's about data. Every step each robot takes generates information about how they handle.
Look up the marathon running robot shatters. How about I just do this? Oh God! Oh my Lord, that was gruesome! Oh my Lord! Like a fish out of water. Quick! Get him out of there! Get him out of there! Fuck! What happened? Did he fall on a landmine? This is the guy that won, by the way. He looks like an athlete. Just look at how mean he looks. Wow! How did it go so wrong? He was pissed too when he fell and blew up. God, that's awful. Damn, the way he's taking that turn. Impressive. Oh, this was genuinely the very beginning. I thought this was like, I don't know, somewhere along the way. He didn't even get a chance to show what he was capable of. Why do they even have this here in the first place? This could have happened to a human being as well. Oh, this guy's hungover. I feel bad for this one. Oh, he's swerving. Nice. Keep at it, sport. This must be the junior division, the Pee Wee League. That thing is remarkably fast. This guy is very boxy. It's pretty nice how they give them shoes, some of them. That guy's a little dehydrated, you gotta get him some water ASAP. He was running out of juice. That red one is... No, the red one, that looks like a villain. He genuinely looks like something you'd see in a like a real sci-fi setting. And he's fast. That guy is fast. Type of robot the main villain would use in real steel. Yeah, true. You saw the California bear suit scammers finally got sentenced? Did they? I remember talking about that a while ago. I feel like it's been like 3 years. They only just now got sentenced. They were the ones committing insurance fraud. Because they were claiming like a bear went in there and fucked it all up, but then they got caught on camera and it's clearly just a guy in a bear suit. And yeah, you're right. It looks like it only just now went through. Humans who used bear suit to defraud car insurers are sentenced to jail. Oh no! And they took the high-quality bear suit! What? California Department of Fish and Wildlife biologists reviewed video footage of the attacks on luxury cars and said that the animal was clearly a human in a bear suit. I like how they had to bring out like the certified expert, but anyone with eyes could tell you the same thing. Hold on, let me pull up the footage. It has been a while, so maybe you guys forgot about this. This shit goes crazy, actually, though. It's a very interesting scheme, to be honest with you. Get ready to cover your eyes. It's horrifying. That's a bear in there! Watch out! It's ruining the luxury vehicle! I think that's a Phantom, it looks like. I can't really tell. I don't know cars well enough, but that looks like a Phantom. Oh, he's in the back seat! Oh god, no, he's ruining it! What's he doing, that degenerate? Oh, the bear's gooning in there. No! He just bought that car too. Wow. That's brutal stuff, man. Damn, look at the damage that he was able to cause. Fuck! Oh, there he is again. That fucking maniac. That bear got a taste of luxury cars and now he can't stop. Yep, right to the back seat again. Mm-hmm. Now he's getting in there causing all kinds of commotion. A huge ruckus. Oh, wow! He's back again! Oh, look at the way he opens that door. He's so smart. Who taught him to do that? Apparently they're going to jail for this, by the way. Imagine going to jail because of this fucking scam. Absolute losers. Holy. They forgot to draw a sea bear circle around the cars. True. I truly cannot believe the horror there. So what did they rule? They were sentenced to jail after masterminding a scheme in which they staged fake bear attacks on luxury cars and collected more than $141K in insurance payouts. Isn't it sad that it actually worked? They actually got paid for that. Someone watched that footage, fucking mouth agape. Oh! Wow, alright. We're approving this, my god. We're sorry this happened. To carry out the attacks, the residents had a person in a bear suit climb into the cars and use claw-like kitchen utensils to leave scratch marks. The residents filed claims to defraud three different insurance companies. Two defendants, Ruben Tamrazian, 26, and Vahi Muradkian, 32, of Glendale, were sentenced to 180 days in jail, or about 6 months, and ordered to pay more than $50K each in restitution. Another defendant, Alifa Zuckerman, 39, was sentenced to 180 days in jail, while a restitution amount is yet to be determined. All three had previously pled no contest to felony insurance fraud. Oh, there's a fourth one. Ararat Cherkinian, 39, of Glendale, has a preliminary court hearing scheduled for September. Not immediately clear if they had lawyers. Oh, maybe they represented themselves. Or maybe they brought someone in a bear suit to defend them. Pretty cool. Hey, Boo Boo, what do you think we're gonna find in this Rolls Royce? 180 days in jail. Good thing they brought in the biologist. They would have got away with it, too.